Granny, I don't know how you're there already. A few days have passed since the Azoth incident involving Nuitone. Van Helsing is nowhere to be seen at our afternoon tea time setting. Lately, there was the premiere, that's why I had it in my notification list. I didn't know. Lately, Van Helsing has been away from the mansion, and we have not been seeing much of him. Van Helsing. What's he up to day after day? I wish he'd be a little bit more considerate of the chef cooking for him. And there's Shoko. Yeah, his wounds haven't completely healed either. They weren't critical, but he did suffer a serious injury. He should be confined to bed resting. I wonder where he's been going. Deli, on the other hand, doesn't seem to pay any mind to the conversation and continues to eat in silence. As far as I can summarize, it's likely that he's hunting for Finis with Alistair, the new leader of Twilight. I mean, I still can't believe that Finis is alive. People don't just come back from the dead. That's not how the world works, you know. There must be some sort of trick to it. I can't imagine what it is at this point. Either way, we'll need to make our next move soon. Azoth-related incidents are becoming more and more frequent. It's my fault, isn't it? It's not your fault at all. This Azoth is enjoying his crimes. He would be up to no good whether he captured you or not. I don't care for such stupid things. NEUN. Yes, I agree with MP. Besides, Shums was saying something similar. Thank you. I feel a little bit better knowing that. Whatever the case, we can't allow Azoth to go around doing as he pleases. Saint Germain lays a piece of paper out on the table for us to look at. The page covers details of the recent violent crimes as well as changes taking place in London as a response. So far, no connections have been made between the different criminals committing the growing number of atrocious acts. Why did that word avoid me? The only thing that the crimes have in common is the word Azoth left behind in blood. Even when one of the perpetrators is caught, he commits suicide, leaving behind no clues as to who or where Azoth is. Okay, let me switch attention to these matters. To deal with the situation, Queen Victoria has used her authority to call in the full cooperation of the police and the military. She's established a task force that pursues Azoth cases, with Imperial Guard Captain Leonhardt in charge. Leonhardt stressed strengthening the city's defenses first and foremost to prevent further crimes from being before focusing on Azoth. The residents of London have stopped going out about at night, of fear that they will be the next victims of these murders. As far as I can tell from the article, the government forces, led by Leonhardt, they are putting a great deal of effort into solving the cases. I want more suffering. However, Azoth's crimes are on the rise at an alarming rate. We know that we have to do something to stop them, but we're unable to make a move. Wonder where Van Helsing went. Oh, speak of the devil, here's the man himself. I look up in response to Lupin's comment and see Van Helsing. Van Helsing! Where have you been? Are you sure you're well enough to keep going out? You're being melodramatic. I'm obviously well enough to be able to go out and about. Yeah, but you should still at least tell us where you're going, or that you'll be gone for a while. Why must I waste my time telling you my each and every move? I suggest you watch your tone. Hey, cut it out. We're happy that you're fine, Van Helsing. Lupin was really worried about you. Van Helsing, were you able to get any information on who this Azoth person is? Oh, Van Helsing, you looked really better with your glasses. Deli, who'd been silent this whole time, suddenly raises his head. I'm going to stop Azoth to avenge Nuatode's death. Tell me everything you know. Silence. Van Helsing doesn't reply right away. When he does, he glares at us all around him. No. I came here today to tell you all specifically to back off and to not get yourselves further involved in this case. What? Why is everyone so grumpy? Just cry. I'm telling you that I will handle Azoth. What do you mean, Van Helsing? I can explain. We turn and stare wide-eyed at the person who appears from beyond Van Helsing. Deli, I love you! Deli, you're amazing! Alistair? Alistair, you mean the Alistair, the new leader of Twilight? What is he doing here? Van Helsing, why would you... I apologize for surprising you this way. There's no need for alarm. I have no hostile intentions at this moment. Oh, Deli's a good bean. I mean, NEUN was like a brother to Deli. Also, can I say that Victor has thinner glasses? So it's like he's not wearing them at all, therefore your argument is invalid. Alistair shrugs and raises his hands as if to surrender. However, none of us let our guards down, and I can feel a sense of fierce hostility from all of us. I see. If you're not our enemy, then what does the leader of Twilight want with us? If you make any strange moves, I won't hesitate to dispose of you. I trust you're fully aware of that. Alistair nods slowly, seeming unfazed by St. Germain's threat. Sure. If you don't like what you hear, I don't care what you do to me. Hopefully I'll be able to explain everything first. At this moment. It seems Van Helsing brought him here, so he probably won't try anything funny. I exchange a quick glance with Lupin. Fine then. Let's hear what you have to say to us. Alistair slowly opens his mouth to speak. The situation has taken a turn. This is no longer just a series of violent crimes. Almost 3/4 of Twilight's members have disappeared from the organization's headquarters. They disappeared? What does that mean? Exactly what I said. All of a sudden, all the members of Twilight disappeared one day, like fog. And how did this happen? I don't know. Aside from myself, I can only think of one other individual who can call Twilight into action. You're saying it's Finis? Exactly right, Guardia. Finis definitely died. I heard it from my Twilight subordinates, as well as Van Helsing here. Do you prefer the Japanese or English dub? I hadn't really heard the English dub of this, but I like the Japanese one. And hold on just a second. Okay, back. Finis definitely died. I heard it from my Twilight subordinates, as well as from Van Helsing here. However, even that may have been part of his strategy. Are you saying that Finis had a plan that would be set in motion in the event of his death? Exactly. That, or... Ruko, this question you said just made me think, Z, do you prefer man's voice to be Undertaker or Chef Dude from BB? Because both of his voice actors are a Black Butler character and I hate it. Or Finis is alive and giving orders. As a man of science, I really find it hard to believe that a dead person can come back to life. Actually, I don't mind because I was a huge Sebastian fangirl myself. As do I, but the way things are currently, wouldn't you think it's best to act on the notion that Finis might be behind it all? Why the heck is my phone going off so much? I told this to Z before, but if you look at YouTube, you can find the speed paint of him by Baby Ruko. Yep, and it was adorable. No, Azoth is Azoth. It's dangerous to jump to conclusions before we've seen it with our own eyes that Finis is still alive. You must be the infamous Arsene Lupin, the first thief to ever trifle with Twilight. May I ask where you acquire your skills? I couldn't help but notice the similarity between your techniques and Twilight's. Those who seek efficiency all end up taking the same path. Isn't that the way it was everything? I suppose there's some truth to that. Whatever the case, Finis decides to use Twilight to do something in the future. If Finis decides to do its thing, certain danger awaits us. You're adorable with your cute. So are you! You all shouldn't get involved. Go find some other route to get information regarding Isaac Beckford. Just let me handle this case on my own. We can't let you do that, you dummy! I can't stop myself from speaking out. I hadn't put too much thought into it. The words tumbled out simply because I didn't want to be separated from Van Helsing. As soon as I looked the other way, he's going someplace far away. I'm certain of this. If Azoth truly is Finis, we can't ignore this case while searching for clues about my father. Besides, they're after me. I can't just leave it all up to you. I suppose I didn't get my point across. Let me clarify. I'm saying that all of you are holding me back. Oh. Still, I can't let you go by yourself. Lupin, possibly ex-member of Twilight? Ooh, I wonder. That doesn't seem like a conversation for the likes of an outsider like me. I'll let you know if I find something, Abraham. I'll come with you. Any further discussion is a waste of time. Alistair leaves the room. Van Helsing follows him out. I chase Van Helsing outside. The two men are standing right outside the mansion's main entrance. Van Helsing, wait! Shall I give you two a moment? No need, let's go. Van, oh my god! Stop being damn edgy. You can at least hear her out, no? She's so concerned about you. You coward. It's none of her business. Don't be that way. Those you think of fondly. That's rather rare in your case, isn't it? He gently taps Van Helsing on the shoulder and walks away. Van Helsing remains in the same place. Van Helsing! You're quite persistent. I'm coming with you! I won't get in your way! Van Helsing looks at me in the face and lets out a slight sigh. This isn't something that you can get through with pure determination. And what does any of it have to do with you? If Finis knows a cure for your poison, I swear to you I will get that information out of him. So just leave me be. That's not it. I don't know how to express what I'm feeling right now. I don't want to see you suffer anymore. You think that I'm suffering? What makes you think that? It's just... It looks like you're deeply hurt, and then you're trying to get... And it looks like you're trying to get yourself killed. It's really stupid. I feel like I can't leave you by yourself. The eyebrows say everything. I see. Your concerns are completely off the mark. And even if I were suffering, it's none of your concern. But... Stop. Just think about yourself. Get rid of that poison and go live a happy life as a normal person. If there's anything I wish for you, that's it. No, Guardia, he needs more suffering. More. But I'll leave. No, come back. I feel... What do I feel? I don't quite understand what I want to say. What exactly has been Helsing to me? Then I hear the noisy cry of a horse. I look in the direction of the sound. I wonder what it could be. Van Helsing, Guardia! Joker's the true girlfriend. With a desperate look, Leonhardt rides his steed through the mansion gates. He dismounts from the horse and advances toward Van Helsing. Something terrible's happened. I need to tell you all. Gather the rest of your group because I need your help. Is it Azoth? I can handle alone. We're on the dining room. Please come in. Thank you, miss. I'll go right in. Cardia, you... We've gotten through everything together, that's why we'll always be together. Do what you want. Van Helsing and I rush back into the mansion. Several soldiers broke into the palace while the queen was holding court. These soldiers shouted nonsense and then went on a rampage demonstrating superhuman strength. Superhuman strength? That must mean... hidden strength? Hidden strength? What do you mean? I'll explain later. Keep talking. You're in a hurry, aren't you? Yes. 3 civilians lost their lives before the royal guard could apprehend these intruders. One of the captured men set off an explosive that he'd been carrying, killing himself and his accomplices. Thankfully, no harm came to the queen, but 5 royal guardsmen met honorable deaths from this incident alone. He blew himself up? That's pretty intense. Choko's right, the dude needs to let it all out. That is quite the extreme method. And did you find the word Azoth? Indeed we did. It was etched into the metal box the man was holding. Azoth again. But that's not the only problem. A strange letter was in the box, appearing to be a declaration of war against Britain. Lionheart takes out a piece of paper out of his pocket and shows it to us. I desire destruction and chaos. I desire the destruction of all order. You shall all become corpses, symbols to demonstrate my will. None shall be spared. Death awaits you all. The truth does not lie within law and order. Now it's time to play a game. That's what it says. I'm tired of this crap. Give us the backstory. We're gonna get it soon. So then, Azoth's goal is to overthrow the government? No, his writing makes no political references whatsoever. Maybe he considers everything as a game? Cardia just be like, man, you can give me a hug, just cry like cry. If that's the case, these for fun crimes are getting pretty out of hand. A game, what a joke. Hold on, it's not over yet. There's one more important fact that I need to tell you. Right before the men blew themselves up, they shouted, "Long live Master Finis," as Othman is playing Saw. Although we'd like to question him, Finis has disappeared. We really don't know what to think. The uncertainty of Leonhardt's voice makes us look all around at one another. This just raises the possibility that he's Azoth. Based on these circumstances, that really might be the case. Immortality. I see. What on earth are you talking about? Finis has already died twice that we know of, if he really is alive right now. Then he's on his 3rd round of life at least. What? It's all alright, Captain Leonhardt. I'll explain. When no one raises any complaints, I tell Leonhardt the events that led up to now. Poor Leonhardt. Of course, I don't tell him too much about some topics that would be inconvenient. He looks at me suspiciously the entire time and scoffs disdainfully occasionally, but when I finish talking, he nods. So Finis is Azoth. Wouldn't it be reasonable to assume that both times you encountered him were actually doubles? I don't think that's possible, but I can't deny that that's the most logical explanation. I understand. I'll have some personnel task to search for Finis. I'd like all of you to put your efforts into finding Azoth. To find the mastermind, we'll first probably need to pay a visit to No! Sholmes! Then I'll go with old Leonhardt here to check the scene for that word. I may be able to find some clues. Then shall we split into separate teams as we did before? Victor, Impy, and I will go with Lupin. Van Helsing, Deli, and Miss Cardia, you lot can go speak with that dude. Leonhardt's not so bad, I gotta say, poor man. He just needs a long vacation. He's not that bad! He's pretty good. No, Shou's not! Didn't know we see him so much. I swear. If we simply search for him, then the more help, the better, right? But do as you please. And please do this. Please, and it pleases me to do this. And Helsing leaves the room and Deli and I follow him. I could have sworn we never saw Sholmes this many times. As the sun is about to set into the skies to the west, I really could have sworn we didn't see him this much. I barely remember him. We arrive once again at Sholmes' detective office. The door opens before we can knock. Saint she like, Cardia, go with your family. Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise? Did you need something of me? Yeah, get out. We're gonna raid your stuff. We're to ask if you've made any progress on the Azoth case. Ah, that. You've come at just the right time then. How about there's about to be some progress now. About to be progress? Would you care to explain that? I'm plot convenient, dude. Oh, time is a-wasting. Let's walk and talk. I really should have realized this much sooner. Sholmes begins walking at a brisk pace. See, maybe you blocked it out. It's entirely possible. I hated him back then as well, so... You said the other day that Azoth was in reality an alias used by Finis. I decided to look through the Azoth cases as well. Similar violent incidents from the past, through that perspective. It's true. I found out that a number of Finis' political rivals were involved in these cases. Too many to be ignored statistically. So Finis is behind them all after all. Perhaps. Or perhaps there's another person who wants us to believe that. Where are we going? The thing is, Finis' greatest political foe remains alive and untouched. The central figure opposing Finis in the House of Lords, who argued against Isaac's ideas and even objected to the Vampire War. Marquise Renfield. Sholmes nods at Van Helsing's outburst. Do you know him, Van Helsing? He's a famous man, and so that not even Queen Victoria can ignore this man's words without consideration. I've already heard about the declaration of war delivered to Buckingham Palace. It would seem that as if Azoth is enjoying these events, and as if watching a play unfold on stage. If he aims to push the entirety of the government onto complete chaos, then there's no better time for it than after that attack. I can't talk today. Then Marquise Renfield he may be in a predicament of his own even as we speak. I see. So there were humans who were actually against the Vampire War. I hope he is safe. Like Sholmes said, we best hurry. We do that as well. We follow Sholmes' lead and rush to central London. There's this mansion. I pull myself together. Suddenly we hear a scream from within the mansion. This isn't good. We may be too late. Up there! There's a sound of glass shattering and a figure leaps down from the third floor to the ground. Upon landing, the person starts running without missing a beat. Incredible! He wasn't hurt at all by that fall from that height. Either way, I'll investigate. You all chase that man. No need to tell me I have no intention of letting him go. There he goes! Van Helsing begins running and we chase after him. We're close in on Azoth's true identity by the minute. I feel certain of this. But at the same time, I feel like Van Helsing is running straight into a trap that can't be undone, and this scares me. Because he's a big dummy. The sun sets completely as I follow his footsteps and we return once more to Midtown. I can't find any traces left behind by the person who fled the mansion, but Van Helsing picks up on the faintest tracks. He's maintaining a constant speed. It's almost as if he wants us to chase him. So this is a trap. So it would seem. I suddenly feel my hackles rise. I guess she means like hairs. Two Twilight soldiers with swords appear. Delacroix, looks like you were right. There are only two of them. No matter how well trained they are, no human is a match for me. What? The sharp blade slices towards Deli and he barely twists aside to avoid it. Annoying pawns. Van Helsing fires his gun without hesitation, but amazingly the soldiers avoid his shots. I see their hidden strength. No, they're not. Those weren't the movements of human physiques. They're my people. Vampires. I can't believe Van's been kidnapped in a van. he was lured in by guns. Vampires! Then they're the same as Nuatode! Grrr. I hear a growl. There doesn't appear to be a single spark of sanity left in him. You two, I'll go after Azoth on my own. You both should join up with Lupin's group. Wait, we should all retreat together. This is Azoth's trap for us. Probably, so what? If this is his trap, I'll rip Azoth's throat out, trap and all. I bet he's going to lose his cool Vans. Rip his Vans shoes. Van wears Vans. And he drives a van. Van Helsing aims his gun at one of the soldiers, his eyes filled with rage. However, an unexpected voice calls out. There's no need for that, Abraham Van Helsing. The one you seek is right here. A small figure appears behind the soldiers. A light breeze blows by and the clouds reveal enough of the moonlight, the moon, to illuminate the scene. Finis! The name tumbles out from my mouth. Hello, sister. We meet again. Dramatic reunions are always wonderful, no matter how many times you experience them. Immortal, the possibility that had come up many times. But when faced with the actuality of it, the eeriness and discomfort is more than I can bear. That doll-like face, almost perfectly still and flawless in the moonlight. It's exactly like the same Finis who had died in the laboratory. There's no way it could have been a double. There's no question. Finis is Azoth. Van Helsing, you're so persistent. What drives you? Revenge born from anger? Or the fear to keep you going? Whatever the case, you can keep doing what you're doing to your heart's content. I have my own business to attend to. I'm merely here to provide some kind of encouragement to all of you hard workers. I'll see you later. His buns look like steamed buns. They do. He laughs as he turns. I want to rip him off. He laughs as he turns away. I try and call out to him. And freeze at the gunshot goes off beside me. Finis. Grrr. Van Helsing's shot doesn't reach his target. Instead, when the Twilight Soldiers blocks it, standing before us like a wall. Finis looks around with an amused smirk, as if noticing the situation for the first time. What's this? How strange. These vampires protect me so faithfully. Ah, I see. That's how they're wired. Wired? What are you talking about? Unfortunately, my time for playing around with you is up. These blokes will stick around. He waves and then turns his back to us and disappears into the darkness. Finis! The Twilight Soldiers move to block Van Helsing as he runs after Finis. Van Helsing, watch out! The soldier's rapier strikes his arm and a bloodstain blossoms from his shoulder. But he continues running without stopping, as if he doesn't register anything except for Finis. Deli runs ahead of the Twilight Soldiers who have turned to pursue Van Helsing and blocks their way. My brothers, I'll take care of you. I am the successor to the throne of Nosferatu, and I'm prepared to give my life to those who are my subject. In the name of my father, the greatest king, Delacrux, I shall save you. Deli takes an aggressive stance, and the vampires in Twilight uniforms seem to have shifted their focus from Van Helsing to him. Deli! I know Deli is strong, but this is seen firsthand by how frightening hidden strength can be and how strong vampires are under its influence. Van, you stupid boy. He's acting very stupid. Cardia, listen closely. Deli speaks calmly as if coaxing me through my internal struggle. I'll take over here. You can't leave that man alone. He is in the same state I was before. He's so caught up in revenge that he's about to lose himself in the darkness. No matter what happens to him, you must be his light and guide him. He is very dumb. Just like you were the single ray of light for me. Me? Your light? Rah! He barely dodges the blades that attack him from both sides and grabs the vampire's arms, stopping them. What are you waiting for? Van Helsing needs you! Now here's the thing. The first time I played this, I stayed with Deli. And if you do, you get killed. So bye. Alright, I'm sorry, Deli. Deli manages to smile even while straining to holding back both of the soldiers at once. There's no need to apologize. That man may be the target of my revenge, but he also saved my life. Promise me you'll join us later. That's a given. If I don't return to the mansion, Cece will be lonely. I'll give Deli a determined nod and take off after Van Helsing. I run after Van Helsing. Following him is easy, the blood dripping from his wound dots the street, creating a path. Can't let Van Helsing confront Finis by himself. I feel this more and more strongly. I run as fast as I can and soon I find Van Helsing pointing his gun at Finis. I've seen this twice before, first on the train, second time in the laboratory, in that room filled with failed attempts at me. And now again. The two look at each other as if silently communicating their thoughts to each other. Cardia, came after me? Just stay right there. This'll be over quickly. Cardia, I understand. So be his angel. Deli, no, that's not what I mean. Cardia, I'll be his knight in shining armor. Deli, I'll be his girlfriend. Deli, just go. Yeah, you do you. And Helsing, hello, sister. Look at this situation we're in. Honestly, what do you think? He dropped everything to chase me. Isn't his attachment to me positively cringe-inducing? Silence, Finis. You're Azoth. Van Helsing walks closer to Finis, his gun forward. He's tense and he looks like he might pull the trigger at any moment. Finis, on the other hand, seems quite calm and doesn't show any hint of discomfort, even in these circumstances. Azoth? The ringleader of that series of incidents. He does intrigue me, but nothing more. He speaks as if he's not Azoth at all. Finis, aren't you behind all of this? Who can say? At least, I do consider this a favorable situation. What's about to begin should be a nice stimulation for the new world that I'm planning. What? Finis's words cause a slew of questions to bubble up in my mind. New world stimulation. Finis is not Azoth. If I can trust him, it would mean that someone else is the leader behind these horrible crimes. Answer me, Finis. Are you Azoth? Finis doesn't respond and simply smiles silently. It'll be easy to prove. If I kill him and the crimes stop, that means it was him and we'll know the truth. For heaven's sake, Van Helsing, how many times do I have to tell you to get it through your head? You can never kill me. You could have 100 guns fire 1,000,000 bullets and slay me 1,000 times, but it would be impossible to kill me. I'm willing to try as many times as it takes until you stay dead. Oh my god, Finis, just talk like a human. I suppose there's no point in telling you. Fine, I'll have to make you understand. Finis leaps forward towards Van Helsing. Van Helsing reacts and fires on an instinct. His bullets were not rock salt this time. It looks like this should settle things. However, not even that stops Finis, who quickly disappears down a narrow alley. Alley! Can't talk! As if the shotgun blast had no effect on him. How? It was a direct hit! I won't let you get away! The moment Van Helsing starts to run. Sister, let's put an end to playtime. You belong to me and to Father. His voice whispers in my ear. Before I can turn around, he has a dagger at my neck. The blade touches my skin, releasing a foul odor and smoke as the metal begins to melt. How did you get behind me? Impossible. How could he turn down an alley and appear right behind me immediately afterward? There's no way he could do that. Finis. I knew you'd be surprised. But come with me, sister, and I'll give you the whole truth. Don't start making plans so soon. I will kill you right here. Really? Think about it, Van Helsing. Shoot me and my sister dies. She's not like me. She'll never come back to life. So what? You're so stubborn. I'm empty, you see. That's how I can tell how others are feeling so well. You're holding back right now. You can't bring yourself to shoot the both of us. Make your decision. Will you push through your objective even if that means the death of my sister? Will you relax your ideals to save her? Isn't it just like that time 2 years ago, isn't it? Shut up. When your family was killed, what was the decision you made? Shut up, Finnis. His family was killed? Van Helsing's face twists into a rage as he points his gun at us, paying no mind to the surprise of my reaction. He can't bring himself to shoot! Don't shoot! The guards all over London right now on high alert. I'm sure they heard the gunshots from before and are coming to our aid. Wait for them, Van Helsing. I see. Good call. You have a level head. But you see, Kurt, he's lying. YOLO! You only get one life. Pull the trigger, send wife. Do it, man! He smiles menacingly. The sharp pain shoots forth from the knife at my neck. Did you think I would sit around and wait for their arrival to kill you, sister? I feel like the pain is enough to kill me, and I tremble in sudden fear. It hurts, doesn't it? Your poison isn't almighty. It can melt knives and bullets, but you aren't much tougher than a human. If I stab you with a knife, or shoot you with a gun, you can still die. You'll still die so easily. You look so scary, Van Helsing. Does this anger you? Finnish chuckles joyfully and trails the knife across my neck as he continues. Listen, sister, I need you, but my need is not anywhere near as great as my hatred for you. If you wanted to save yourself, you should have come up with a better suggestion than to wait. The both of you are so stupid. I hear I feel... God dang, I hear Finnis's laugh, and I can't help but protest despite the danger. I value myself. I came to value myself. Thanks to everyone and Van Helsing. Van Helsing is precious to me, Finnis. Despite you looking down on someone I hold dear. Cardi, you... Wow! I didn't know you had it in you. You've changed so much since your days as a speechless doll. Honestly, I can't believe it. Van Helsing and I exchange glances in this tense atmosphere. Van Helsing's eyes are wavering. What's more important? What must be sacrificed? He appears to be suffering from a deep emotional conflict. Then, the ground shakes from a sudden blast. What was that? It came from the direction of Buckingham Palace. The moment of our distraction, Finnis takes the opportunity to dash away and for the darkness of an alleyway. The moment came too sudden and his gun is not steady. He can't hit his target. You'll likely be unable to make a decision, and it will cost you everything. Finnis's voice emerges from the darkness. Van Helsing, I told you this before, but I don't dislike you. You're the only one who comes at me with such passion. Sister, Van Helsing, two of my beloved, I'll see you again. Finnis melts into the dark and disappears. Damn it! The two of us chase after him right away. But beyond the alley, we only see the dark waters of the Thames River. There's no signs of Finnis. He's gone! Delacroix stands alone beneath the moon, the bodies of his fellow vampires on the ground before him. How could I would have known they'd die? He had defeated them and was about to speak to them in the attempt to bring them back to their senses. But the two vampires had fallen over on their own daggers and taken their lives. I couldn't save them. I'm powerless. I'm no king. How can I get revenge for my race if I can't save even a single one of my brethren? A single tear falls from his cheek as he bows his head and closes his eyes. All I can do now is pray for you. I pray for your souls to find peace and rest. Father, please give them words of thanks. The sounds of footsteps suddenly draw close. Man, why are you sad, Cardi? My brother wants to date you. No. And I was like, what? The boy king raises his head and stares at the figure approaching in the darkness. Then, what? Why are you... Chapter 12, Waking Evil. We're getting near the end. It's a quiet night. The golden moon floats in the sky, giving the scattered clouds a bluish-white glow. The night's so peaceful, making it all the harder to believe what transpired just a few days ago. There's so many emotions and things to work out that I cannot sleep at all. The explosion that night did indeed come from Buckingham Palace. From inside the palace. Queen Victoria was unharmed, but many government VIPs were killed. Baby Delhi! A number of abnormal crimes taking place in London, with the word Azoth left behind in blood, has increased at an explosive rate. The city, the capital of Britain, is about to descend into a state of panic. Given the deteriorating situation, Queen Victoria made a public address. As a government official and as a single human being, it is impossible to condone the perpetrators of these crimes. This is war, and Britain's honor and peace is on the line. We will not succumb to any threats, nor will we accept any evil. This war will conclude with Britain victorious. Azoth is finished. Based on this information, the British government is doing everything in its power to hunt him down. On the other hand, there have been several changes to our group. Delhi went missing during his battle with the 2 soldiers. We've confirmed that the soldiers had been fighting were killed, but Delhi was nowhere to be seen afterward. There were no clues to where he went following his disappearance, and our search is encountering difficulties. Back then, would anything have been different if I had stayed with Delhi? I know it's a waste of time to think these things, but I can't help it. Van Helsing, he disappeared as well, right after he let Finnis escape and that big explosion happened. None of us know where he is or what he might be doing. Wonder where that idiot went. Looking back, he saved me so many times. Now I feel that I want to be the one to help him, but there's nothing I can do. I hate myself for being so powerless, except this poison that can melt everything. Delhi will get or be subjected to hidden strength. Van Helsing. My thoughts are all tangled. I whisper the name without thinking. Thinking about him causes a pain in my chest. I can't forget the warm smile that Van Helsing showed me once. Just once, after the battle with NEUN. I want to stay by his side. I want to help him. That's how I feel. It's how I feel, but the more I get to know him, the less and less I feel that there's anything I can do for him. What can I do for Van Helsing? A noise. Huh? There's a tap of a pebble thrown against the window. Wonder who would be out there. I see a figure standing outside and rush out of my room. I exit the doors in the mansion and run to meet out with him. Van Helsing! A boy! Yes. Where have you been? Everyone's worried. And what about your wounds from the battle with NEUN? Van Helsing furrows his brows if annoyed by the rapid-fired questions. There you go again. How many times do I need to tell you, you don't need to worry about me? I can't help it. I have to worry. I change my thoughts away from the melancholy feelings and look at Van Helsing's face. He makes that annoyed expression that I've become so familiar with. Even though he appears to be in a bad mood, I'm still very happy I get to see him again. I'm so glad you're safe. Right now in this moment, the fact above all else is the source of my joy. Did you track down Delacroix too? No, we haven't found any clues. If only I had stayed by Delhi's side. Do you think anything would have turned out differently? You would have gotten in his way. Maybe, but I can't help but feel in the depths of my heart that I could have done something. I'm responsible for dragging him into all of this unnecessary trouble. That's not true. It's no one's fault. We just need to find Delhi. We all need to search together. No. This is where it ends. Nelson cuts me off before I can finish my sentence, looking up at me with a serious, intense gaze. What? I'm here now to bid you farewell. This is so sudden. Before I can comprehend the meaning of what he says, Van Helsing speaks again. I was careless. You're all weak, and I shouldn't have taken you with me. I ended up dragging you into these events. I've been under your care for some time now. I'd be lying to say if it wasn't any attachment, but that's why I must go. His complete rejection of anything other than what he's already decided on is extremely upsetting to me. He refuses to accept any other options or opinions of protest. Why? All of a sudden, if we work together, I'm sure... look at him trying to find a reaction, but Van Helsing's face reveals nothing, like the surface of a calm lake. I'm going down a path of no return. You people don't need to accompany me. Not when it isn't any of your business. Not our business? These simple words upset me greatly. I'm gonna punch this man. It is my business. I'm the key to solving whatever mystery surrounds Finis. You said so yourself. That's what... Van Helsing doesn't bother to brush away my argument. He simply stands in silence, letting the words flow past him. His eyes silence me more effective than any number of eloquent speeches could have. You're right. But circumstances have changed. I can unravel his secrets myself now, without you. And I'll kill that boy as many times as I need to until he's dead and for good. I look into his eyes and realize that no matter what I say, he's gonna leave me. A feeling of helplessness and emptiness gradually spread through me. Why? Why do you want revenge on Finis? Why are you so hell-bent on this? You wouldn't be able to understand. This dark emotion lies within me. That's right, I don't understand. I don't! The anger I feel coming from the feelings I've had for him building up as he came to be a bigger presence in my heart. Of course I don't understand. Because you never tell me anything. He's only ever sees me as a tool for his revenge. Not as the person I actually am. Why, Van Helsing? Why is this revenge you keep What is this revenge you keep talking about? You can't just leave without saying anything. Stop telling me it's none of my business. I can't control this torrent of emotions that I feel. If he doesn't tell me what's on his mind now, he'll leave without saying anything. I'll never see him again. I'm convinced of this somehow, and I find myself begging, almost yelling at him. No, just keep yelling, you're doing great. 2 years ago, there was a slaughter that we now call the Vampire War. He speaks quietly, his words heavy. He stares off into the distant skies as if recalling something from decades ago and not a mere 2 years ago. It wasn't a proper war. It was just a brutal, one-sided killing. A vampire war. I was asleep for so long, my only knowledge has come from hearing about it, not any first-hand experience. Is he saying those events are somehow connected to his revenge? Oh my god, Cardia. She doesn't give up. She's very blunt. Go, girl, kick. At that time, I was a member of Twilight. As an undercover agent, I infiltrated the vampires to destroy them from within. In the beginning, I had no doubts. I simply thought of them as enemies, as if vermin to be exterminated. However, as I continued to live among them, I began to question the war itself. I realized that they didn't pose any threat. I reported the facts back to the military, and based on my experience, I advised them against continuing this pointless war. I told them that the vampires were an innocent people seeking only peace. But the war didn't stop. That's what history says. I couldn't agree with the military's decision and fully intended to abandon my duties and flee. However, you were forced to keep working for them? An idea about what happened suddenly occurs to me, and Van Helsing nods gravely. Finis took my family hostage. His condition for keeping them alive was for me to kill the vampires. I was torn until the very end, but my family was important to me. My mother and my younger brother, whom I had left behind back in my hometown, are more precious to me than anything. His anger is painful and intense. Just watching him force these words out causes my heart to ache for him. That's why I went through with my mission. I went among them once again, pretending to be a lost traveler, and killed them all. Man, turns out the vampires are cool. They got a PS2. They played Silent Hill 2. It's good. I killed all of them. Those kind-hearted people who were so accepting of me, even though I was a human, a different race. Not just one or two, I ended hundreds of innocent lives. Can't possibly imagine how painful this must be for him. Imagining it from what he's told me is causing my heart so much pain it might split. And Van Helsing has to deal with all this pain directly, for real. Can't imagine the depths of his pain. Whenever thing was over, the boy, Finis, had already altered the arrangement. What? Does he mean? It's just what you think. He had my entire family killed. Van Helsing somehow looks calm as he says this. I try and imagine the pain he must have endured as he could be so accepting of the truth, and I shudder. Van Helsing takes a deep breath and slowly and quietly releases it. That's why I must seek revenge against him. And I will settle my score with him no matter what. I will avenge my mother and my brother, and most of all, I will make him pay for all the anger and regret I feel with his life. It's like a black flame burning in him. Van Helsing's eyes are deep black, and yet somehow they seem to be filled with a terrifying heat. I wonder if he could be seeing his... I wonder if he's seeing the family that he couldn't save right now. That's why your words don't reach me. Has Van Helsing been trapped in a nightmare that he can't wake from? He must kill Finis with his own hands to awake from the dream. You're not necessary for the path I'm taking. With that, he turns his back on me. I instinctively grab his hand. Wait! Wait, Van Helsing. I don't want you to be alone. I was gonna say I don't want to stay with you. I want to stay with you. Please take me with you. Don't be foolish. You have your own problems. You have to deal with finding your father. No, that's not it. There's more than that. I just want to help you. How many times do I have to tell you I don't need you? And what can you do if I do take you with me? What good are you? What? Are you able to kill Finis for me? Can you fight hidden strength with that? Can you fight the hidden strength that stand by your side? Will you be able to fight it and are almost killed? Will you be able to kill your opponent without the slightest hesitation? Answer me. Do you have what it takes to kill? Van Helsing's question is serious. Grabs his hand. I don't want to stay with you. He's asking me simply if I'm ready to enter a life and death situation. He's headed for a place that he might lose his own life. Do I have the resolution to take another's life? It's not something I can answer easily. All I can do is back one step away from Van Helsing. Good. Everyone has a lifestyle suited to them. There's no need for you to force yourself. You can take your own path in life. His voice is unexpectedly kind, as if to say this will be his last. He smiles quietly. However, thank you. The days I spent with you in Lupin were filled with warmth. And although I'm not one to settle down, there were many times when I wished I could have continued living that way. Then, that's all the more reason I need to put an end to it all, before that day comes when those warm days become more important to me than my revenge. But it was fun while it lasted. Thank you. He gives me a fragile, fleeting smile. You asshole! More than happiness of hearing he enjoyed the time with us, or the joy of being thanked, I'm saddened by his smile. It's impossible for me to stop him. He doesn't need me. Goodbye, Cardia. These words might be overused now, but I'm glad I met you. Van Helsing starts walking. He leaves my side. Left alone, all I can do is look as he disappears in the darkness. You asshole! Are you sure this is what you want, stupid boy? Alistair is leaning against the automobile, waiting for Van Helsing to come from the mansion. Yes, this is how it should be. Stupid boy! Doesn't she love you? And you her? You're imagining things. I merely removed something that was superficial. Fine. If that's your decision, I support it. Let's go, before Finis disappears again. Alistair nods. And now we get the boy's point of view from his backstory. The two step into the automobile and Alistair starts the engine. Finis has now returned to St. Paul's Cathedral, where Twilight's headquarters are. A cathedral? Is that the source that you got? Is the source you got this information from unreliable. I'd swear it on my life. Finis and his rebels in Twilight attacked the cathedral. They attacked you? Yes, thanks to that, the remaining members of Twilight were wiped out. I'm unable to contact any survivors. Holy shoot, I hit the button too fast. Is there anything at the cathedral that Finis would go to such great lengths to obtain? It's not like I shipped you with cardio. It said that Isaac obtained the location by bargaining directly with Queen Victoria during the rebuilding of London. That place may have secrets that we are unaware of. Alistair, damn it, I want to be the best man at your wedding. No wedding cake. Could it be the secret to his immortality is a place so close to him? Best places to hide, something where nobody can see. Nelson looks out at the passing scenery with a tense expression. You can see the city lights glistening beyond the curves in the hills. Steel London, started by Isaac Beckford, finished by Finis, though it still is glowing. Lives and emotions constantly cross paths here, and countless tragedies are born each day. A beautiful beast that devours life. Steel London. He first came to this city several years ago. Tonight we will put an end to his connection to this place. He stares up at the moon and reflects on his past. He must collect his thoughts and emotions to prepare for what might happen. Okay, backstory! I'm supposed to switch in my PJs, but I want to leave them live. So this is London. Amazing! The first thing his eyes register upon is the carriage. Upon leaving is the carriage's beautiful nightscape and the newly completed London. With Queen Victoria's declaration of a new era of invention and military expansion, the military is enlisting record numbers. After losing his father, Abraham decided to join the army to support his bedridden mother and younger brother. He came out to London on his own. The enlistment examinations take place on a field on the outskirts of London. Abraham demonstrates remarkable talents in all the tests of battle skill that he has put through. He's no ordinary man. Alistair, a section commander of Twilight at the time, was the first to recognize his abilities. Could you have him come to me later? Him? Sir, I thought you were with the Twilight unit, if memory serves me correctly. Doesn't that special unit only fill its ranks with the best of the best, who have bright and distinguished careers? A bright career isn't necessary. Twilight's all about skill, especially my unit. Van Helsing leaves midway through the examination and is brought to Alistair. Excuse me, Section Commander Jimmy Alistair, sir? Van Helsing shouts when he's entered in the room, and Alistair smiles faintly. You must be Abraham Van Helsing. I know you just got here, but let me ask you a question. Do you know where you are? Holy shoot, I hit the button too fast. Basically, Van goes, no, I don't. That's fine. A true rule in this place is known for only a select few in this nation. Publicly, St. Paul's Cathedral was closed following an accident during London's reconstruction. In reality, though, its true identity is the headquarters of Twilight, Britain's secret intelligence service. Intelligence service? I believed I was taking an entrance examination for the army. It's no problem. Twilight is part of the British Armed Forces. It's an independent organization under the direct command of the military technological advisor Finis. But we have the same goals. We are the sword for the creation of peace and tranquility through Britain. In a sense, we're no different from them. A sword for peace and tranquility. I think that's a great cause. By the way, Mr. Van Helsing, what is it that motivated you to enlist in the armed forces? Well, I'm embarrassed to admit, but it's to make money to support my family. I see. I appreciate your honesty. As of today, you're a member of Twilight. I'll see that you're taken care of. What? What is that? You're already an official citizen employee. You don't need to worry about your family. The Twilight agent receives a salary far greater than an average soldier. Thank you! This is where Alistair and Van Helsing's relationship began. Alistair is indeed an excellent soldier and a skilled agent in his own right. Jeez, he sounds like a dork. There's no edge. Yeah, this is before the edge took hold. But more than anything, he's an educated. I mean, he was a young, pure boy. He was. While holding a high rank in the army, he was also known as a popular university professor. For the first 6 months in the unit, Van Helsing was thoroughly trained by Alistair. Thanks to this, he quickly rises and becomes one of the top performers within Twilight's ranks. However... Checkmate, Abraham. Alistair holds a wooden knife to Van Helsing's neck as part of a mock battle they're having. Gah, again! Why can't I defeat you? There's no simple answer. Your battle sensibilities are so exceptional. You rely on instinct and not your head. The battle scope widens. Intellect becomes the key to victory. You probably won't be of any use yet in an actual battle. That's not true. I swear I can be effective. I like that you're spirited. However, you really should stop speaking so stiffly. Let's be more frank with each other. No, sir. I wouldn't want to speak to you with any disrespect. Does this make me sad, but also like characters go from pure baby to my heart is darkness? You're a stubborn one. Exchanges like this continue between them. Van Helsing has written about times in the letter he sent to his mother and brother in the country. How are you both? Don't worry about me. Training is difficult, but I'm doing fine. I can't tell you where I am for certain reasons, but I trust the money has begun to arrive. Mother, you need to make sure to eat healthy foods. I believe your body will naturally start to get better then. By the way, the commander at the post I've been stationed at is very interesting background. Cowards, they should have shown us younger Van. They actually do show younger Van in the anime. Aside from his military duties, it seems that he also works for a university professor. Lately, he found out about my limited schooling and started looking over my studies, saying that I can do better. I've decided to call him Professor. He says it sounds too stiff and doesn't like it. I'm glad that I made up my mind to come to London. I'll come home next time when I can get a long leave. I'm already looking forward to seeing you too. Then, a little while after he enters Twilight, Van Helsing experiences his first real battle. This is probably one of the worst battles that a new soldier could experience. I'm sad. Van Helsing, stay alert or you'll die. Heckin' cowards. Twilight's in the midst of a pitched fight in the corner of the Forest District. For the first time, Van Helsing is against the opponents who don't succumb to his superior fighting prowess. The enemies are soldiers who've been part of an experiment called Hidden Strength. These men have lost their sanity and hunger to kill. If they get into the city, the death toll will be tremendous. The mission to hunt them down and to kill them before they get out has been assigned to Alistair's platoon. However... The table is overturned. After chasing the Hidden Strength soldiers into a complicated back alley, the altered men turned and begin attacking ferociously. Everyone has underestimated the power of Hidden Strength and immense potential of his latent powers. They feel no pain when shot and tear things into pieces with overwhelming violence. Their powers have made them inhuman. The Twilight forces have defeated one after another, and before they know it, only the survivors left are Alistair and Van Helsing. The two watch over one another as they run deeper and deeper into the worn alleys. Eventually, they're cornered and surrounded, trapped in a narrow alleyway. As if instinctively aware the victory is certain, the experimental soldiers advance slowly. So this is it. Van Helsing says this under his breath as he looks around. There's nowhere to run and they don't have much strength left. Had they been fighting normal humans, it may have been possible to break through them to escape. However, they are up against monsters who far surpass human abilities. They are surrounded and there's no chance they can win no matter how they fight. Professor, run! I'll act as a decoy. You're gonna give up and let them shred you to pieces, eh? Where'd your usual air of confidence go? But there's nothing more we can do. The death of a soldier is not a tragedy. Any who go into battle should be prepared for death. But it is a tragedy for a civilian to die as a result of battle. We soldiers must put our lives on the line to stop these beasts. You think they can be defeated? Even with how things are this bad? I promise you one thing, Abraham. If we both make it out of here alive, no more calling me Professor. No more being stiff and polite. We'll address each other as friends and equals. Now is hardly the time for this. I told you before, didn't I? Alistair takes some device out of his pocket and smiles. Presses a button and the next moment. I want to be on familiar terms with you, especially a capable youth like yourself, with a bright future ahead of you. A powerful explosion blows the experimental hidden strength soldiers to pieces. Aside from Jack Blackman, the one who got away, Alistair had already placed bombs in many abandoned areas within the district, and given detonators to everyone but Abraham. There is only one reason why he didn't tell Van Helsing about the plan beforehand. Alistair later tells Van Helsing that his goal for his mission was to survive. He also said that giving extra tasks to those entered in battle for the first time often increases their chances of death. In any case, from this day forward, Van Helsing stopped being overly polite with Alistair. In this way, Alistair became a true comrade to Van Helsing. Following this battle, Van Helsing's ability to grow under Alistair's guidance. In only a year, he has far surpassed any other member of Twilight. Man, 2 years ago, sad cat. Another sad cat. In terms of his powers, his capabilities have exceeded even Alistair's. And it's uncertain when this happened, but they have established a style in which Alistair devises strategy and Abraham executes it. The two of them come to be known as the best team within Twilight, and they find themselves in the most difficult of missions. Then fate begins to take its course, 2 years ago. The sub-race genocide in Ireland, also known as the Vampire War, takes place. Van Helsing is given the most important duty in this campaign. You're amazing! You're so strong for a human! That's not true. I'm no match for your father. He wasn't using his full strength. Of course not! He's the strongest warrior of all the vampires. Van Helsing has integrated himself within the vampires and come in contact with those of royalty among them. His mission is to spy on them and report on the fortress, and then open an entrance for the approaching military assault. Completely unaware of his objective, the vampires accept him. The vampires place great importance in fighting ability and welcome Van Helsing as a guest upon learning his strength. This day, Van Helsing and the vampire king Delacroix engage in a mock battle at the king's request. Van Helsing is at a great disadvantage, but as he is more comfortable with handling a gun than a sword. But even if he didn't have a gun, he feels that Delacroix would still make for a difficult opponent. But honestly, I think you're just about as strong as Master Nuitode. Oh, Master Nuitode is my teacher. He's super strong. I see. If he's considered strong among vampires, there's no way a human like myself can defeat him in battle. I still think you're about the same, you know? Teach me how to fight. I'm gonna secretly become stronger and surprise everyone. I'll think about it. Promise? It's a promise, alright? Fine, it's a promise. However, this promise would never be held. That night, once he has enough information to complete his assigned duties, Van Helsing returns to London. I see. I never knew. The vampires were never a threat that had been suggested. The government's going about saying that the vampires had attacked human villages, but there's no trace of any such attacks. This must be a mistake. A war is about to begin based on a significant misunderstanding. It has to be stopped before it grows to destroy either of our races. And I can't see them as people who deserve destruction. I see. And I understand. I shall try to talk to Finis about it. If all goes well, he may be able to advise Queen Victoria about this. Can you include your reasoning within the written report? Would you really do that? Thank you so much, Jimmy. No need to thank me. I sensed something off about this war as well. Your suggestion will be a good chance to argue against it. There must be a reason the vampires were killed anyway, though. I won't waste any more time then. I'll put my report together. He was relieved the vampires truly were a peaceful race. Their abilities were terrifying, but they didn't look as if though they had planned to use them against humanity. Van Helsing did not wish to betray the trust of those who had so warmly accepted him into their home. There's no need to put that report together. Van Helsing turns around with a sudden voice to discover a young boy. He had seen him before during the Twilight's entrance ceremony. The individual with command over all of Twilight, the second most powerful voice in Britain after the Queen herself, Finis. I heard what you had to say. Alistair goes down on one knee to bow his head, and Van Helsing does the same. But you see, we need this war to keep going. What did you say your name was? Sir, Abraham Van Helsing, sir. Well then, Van Helsing, I'll have you tell me everything that you know about the strategy meeting later. Orders within Twilight are absolute. If they command him to die, he must die. But I can't. Also, this is probably the first media where I see vampires treated as good. To me, at least. Van Helsing speaks his mind this once. Oh, and why is that? These people haven't done anything wrong. I don't believe that there's anything that justifies this war. You're quite funny, Van Helsing. No war on this earth has ever had a justifiable reason. The same goes for now. Britain merely wants an opponent to demonstrate our power to other nations of Europe. We merely needed someone who wouldn't cause other countries to get fired up for being attacked. That's all. Same the media makes them scary or bad. Yep! Wait, then what about the incidents with the supposedly sparked the anti-vampire sentiment? The attack on the human villages? I mean, they were evil at the beginning of the media. Yeah! Of course the village was attacked, but who carried it out? That's something you don't need to know. No. Is the government behind this? Forget it. However, to save the country, some sacrifices are necessary. Queen Victoria has consented to all of it. Now, I'd like you to share us with the secrets of the vampire's fortress. I can't. That's too bad. Alistair, perhaps he'll listen to you, as his direct superior. I'm sorry, sir, but I can't abide your words either. It's true that Twilight takes any measures necessary to fulfill our objectives, but we aren't savages who kill innocents. I object to this war as well. Also, I might have answered my own question to think Venice is just because chaos. Alistair, considering your achievements up to this point, I'm going to do you a favor and pretend I didn't hear that. Just use some common sense. The words of a single soldier will never affect the big picture. I don't want any more part in whatever this is. I see. Well, you can reject it if you want, and see for yourself what happens as a result. What do you mean? Finis smiles a thin smile but doesn't otherwise respond. Van Helsing realizes the answer then must be a tragedy that has already taken place. The British forces release a poisonous gas, a new invention of war from the air. One vampire stronghold after another is left in a state of destruction. The vampire's leader Delacroix has gathered survivors and refugees from all over different regions to his own fortress. He protects them and decides to spearhead the battle from there against humanity. Humans against vampires. The plans of widespread murder have become a reality. Van Helsing discovers this and tries to protest against Finis, but he's arrested and placed in confinement. Once he's released from prison, a mission is waiting for him. A change in scenery. This is Delacroix's fortress. Its defenses were unmatched in the past, but it's under siege from the military. Any vampire who had not fled to the castle had already fell into anarchy and were killed one by government forces. The vampires still resist violently, and so far the military is unable to enter the stronghold at all. Amidst all this, two soldiers arrive at the castle gates. Abraham Van Helsing and Jimmy A. Allister. They've been accused of treason and with their families being taken hostage, have been forced to assassinate King Delacroix. Allister surmises that this is Finis's plan to have them killed after they know the truth behind how this war began. Neither Van Helsing nor Allister could object, not with their families being held hostage. How dare you show your face in here, Van Helsing? Stop. Curse you! Curse you! Run, please, just run. We won't let you hurt our family, not our family. Don't try and stop me. His voice echoes through the crumbling stone stronghold, and he's already completely transformed into a human weapon. His battle skills are at a level above any other, but each vampire has the strength of 10 men. He kills them one after another. Then Van Helsing emerges victorious from the one-on-one battle against the vampire King Delacroix. Van Helsing himself has some serious injury, but he pays no mind to his wounds and prays for Delacroix's soul. Is it over? Yes. Delacroix was a great man. His loss will cause the vampires to fall apart. It looks like Britain has won this joke of a war. What of Delacroix's wife and child? I handled his wife, but I couldn't find his son Dracula anywhere. Abraham, I'm sorry that you've been put in such a painful position. Right. This is horrible. Who could have predicted my life would turn out to be so revolting? I killed the one who saved my life. I killed an innocent man. A king. With my own hands. Unbearable is the only way to describe his pain. It echoes through the crumbling walls of the vampire fortress without answer. We may need to search deeper inside the fortress for the survivor, the boy. Dracula. The boy who had warmed up to me. I taught him a little of how to fight. He looked up to me with his own eyes filled with respect and awe, and I'm gonna kill him? Right here and now like his father? Van Helsing, what's the matter? Can you move? That's enough. I know how you feel, but if Finis finds out that we left Dracula's son alive, that's enough! What is this? What are we? This is not a war, that's a massacre! We killed and killed and killed innocent people! What's the point is there to a country keeping something like this terrible a secret? You, please, tell me, Jimmy, why? Why are we doing this? Abraham, all battles are outcomes of mistakes. No battle on Earth has ever been justified. Our job is to bring these incidents to an end as quickly as possible, with the fewest casualties we can manage. And this country, no, this whole world has been making mistakes for a long, long time. I wonder if Delhi will know about this. If I'm correct, Delhi does learn about this later on. Alistair places a hand on Van Helsing's shoulder. Let's go. Our job here is done. After that, Van Helsing and Alistair become the focus of the public attention as heroes who brought the vampire war to an early end. Van Helsing's achievement is recognized and he's awarded with a knight's title and inducted into the most excellent order. However, the very day Van Helsing receives his titles, he resigns from Twilight. When asked by Alistair why he's leaving, Van Helsing response is brief. I can't find a reason to kill. I can't fight anymore. With that, he departs. I'm going back to my family. I've sent plenty of money. I should have enough saved to be able to live comfortably. Also, to be honest, man, looks like a big bro to Delhi. He does! Now I'm going to lead a peaceful life with my family. At least, so I thought. It's truly what I thought. What is this? When he returned home that day, what he saw was the aftermath of an appalling tragedy. The crimson stain of blood sprayed all over the way to the ceiling. One large body and one small one on the floor. Their wounds are hideous. They must have gone through an unimaginable amount of pain. How could this? I'm in a daze, faced with this reality and unable to think straight. No. For an instant, I think this is what is punishment for what I've done. How could they? Such cruelty. Now I did the same thing to the vampires, to so many more. An emotion that's not quite anger or sadness burns in his heart, and he turns to suffering to face the red on the ceiling. After that, he contacts Alistair, who discovered his own family had been murdered, and they search for whoever ordered the killings. They use the skills cultivated through their careers in Twilight and are able to find the individual in no time at all. The assassin is a Twilight soldier, and they find the document in his room bearing Finis' seal. The document reads, Abraham Van Helsing, Jimmy A. Alistair, exterminate both their families. Finis, I swear I will have my revenge. Having obtained hard evidence, Van Helsing dedicates himself to vengeance. He will kill the boy no matter what. It was the beginning of it all. Van Helsing was able to kill Finis once more, as his heart led him to. But strangely, Finis returned to life. There were whisperings of immortality. In order to unravel the secret, Van Helsing continued his investigations. One day he received a key piece of information from his collaborator, Alistair. Twilight and Finis are after something. If he can get it before the military, he may be able to drag Finis, who so far cannot be found out into the open. That's what leads his encounter with the ill-fated Grell who'd been called the Monster. And that's his backstory. What is it, Abraham? Something on your mind? Yeah, I was thinking about the past. The automobile finally approaches their destination. Looking back fondly on your memories is great, but right now I need you to focus on the present. Don't you think this is the same as that time before? Don't be so mysterious with me. Which time are you talking about? The final battle that brought an end to the Vampire War. The two of us went marching into enemy territory, just like this. Alistair nods gravely, but his response is not one of agreement. I see. The situation is certainly similar, but the essence of the situation is different this time, Abraham. Back then, we fought as a result of having been swept away by fate. Now we fight by our own wills in order to part with our pasts. What a heckin' sad boy. Isn't that right? I'm really gonna be AFK for a few minutes, at least to stay for the backstory. It's okay, go get ready. Van Helsing smiles faintly. Yes, you're right. Up until now, it seemed that he's not even allowed death, but once everything is finished, he can finally sleep. He can bid farewell to this unending nightmare that has been his life. Van Helsing looks at the moon in a daze. The moon looks down at him indifferently, as if it knows everything that's about to happen but keeps the knowledge to itself. Everyone, I'm sorry for calling you in the middle of the night. I need to tell you something. Everyone has gathered in the lounge at my request. You don't have to be so formal. You know I'll do anything you want. From your expression, it seems that this is going to be pretty serious. I nod in response. Van Helsing came back here earlier. He did? Why didn't he say anything to us? Yeah, he said he'd figured out where Finis is. He came to say his final farewell to me. Oh, he said only goodbye to you. Ah, how cold of him. I know, I haven't even been able to properly examine his wounds yet. It seems like Van Helsing is prepared to go fight Finis alongside Alistair. Van Helsing is very strong, so he might be alright, but still. I don't know how to explain it, but it seemed to me like Van Helsing was trying to reach out for help. The more he said he wanted to be left alone, the more it sounded like he didn't really want to be alone. Miss Cardia. But I let him go all by himself. I didn't want him to hate me. I couldn't bear hearing him say that he didn't want me, so I just gave up trying to stop him. But I realized that it was a mistake. I don't care if he hates me. I don't care if he says that he doesn't want me. That's why I want to help Van Helsing. I want to be by his side, and I don't want him to be sad or suffer. I want to see him smile. Those feelings have appeared in my heart, and they won't go away. Please, I want to help Van Helsing, but I need help from all of you. I understand that this is going to put us all in danger, but there's nothing I can do on my own. No one says anything. I know I sound selfish. I know I should know how dangerous Finis is after everything that's happened. Miss Cardia, you've changed quite a bit since you first arrived. What? Yes, truly, when we first met you, you were like a doll. I mean, not in a bad way, right? Oh, I'm super disappointed that it's not me! Super disappointed, but also super happy. What are you talking about? The story of how a lady who thought she was a doll became human. Lupin points to my chest with a flickering motion of his finger. Or flicking motion. I became human? Men and women both become human when they discover love. Ah, that's deep. Who are you quoting? That's on me, aren't I wise? I suddenly appreciate them less, knowing they came from the mind of a thief. Yes, it only took a moment for the words to shift from groundbreaking to common as muck. Everyone rises from their seats as they continue to joke around. Where are you going, everyone? Where else to fulfill the precious wishes of a lady in love? Hearing this, I quickly run after him. And the name of that feeling, the sound of the word love warms my heart. Lupin steps outside and speaks as soon as he checks the area near the gate. Just as I thought, they arrived here in an automobile. How can you tell? I woke up earlier when I heard something. Didn't realize what it was, though. There's also some new tracks right in front of the gate. I'm reasonably sure they were made by some automobile. You really do have great ears, Lupin. I almost want to examine you from a medical standpoint. Shall we take a closer look at these tracks? Judging by the looks of how the ground has been scraped, there's a high chance that they're still in London. Lupin, you got your heart still. I did. Not actually still. Huh? Why? The road goes off in that direction and is a single path and leads straight to the city. If they're leaving London by automobile, it's much easier by the mansion and continues towards the city outer wall. Unless their intent was to mislead us, there's almost no question that their goal is within London. They left such an easily traceable trail. Van Helsing must have been pretty agitated. Does he think he can get away that easily? I don't know how he got here, but suddenly I realized that Cece is here standing right next to Lupin. And here's our big shot hunting dog, our pride and joy. Everyone give him a warm welcome, would you? Cece barks enthusiastically. What? Are you saying you're gonna have Cece hunt him down? Of course! Ever since our princess arrived, he started to warm up to me. I've been training him all this time, haven't I? Cece barks again, happily. Are you serious? He's never opened up to me, and I'm supposed to be his master! Lupin has Cece sniff one of Van Helsing's old handkerchiefs, and in the next instant, Cece already starts running with great vigor. Whether Cece was able to do this, or if Lupin's training is brought out, our hunting dog charges on without hesitation. Yep! The cathedral is lit by moonlight. Boasts in the same unapproachable beauty as it had back then when Van Helsing left Twilight. Van Helsing and Alistair parked the automobile in an inconspicuous area and slowly approached the building. I sensed some sort of presence. This place is likely to be well guarded. Probably the Twilight soldiers that Finis took with him. And your own subordinates are among them? Yes, I hope that at least some of them are still alive. As they have this conversation, a number of figures appear from the cathedral and melt into the night. This is certainly a fitting dramatic effect. Abraham, I hope we both survive this to see the sunrise. You don't have to worry about me. There's no way I will die before I've killed Finis. Van Helsing pumps the lever on his shotgun. Let's go. The Twilight soldiers advance and Van Helsing's shotgun reverberates through the night. I heard a gunshot. I stop and turn in the direction of the sound. It came from over there. I see. That makes sense. What does? St. Paul's Cathedral is in that direction. Rumor has it Isaac demanded it be given to him during London's reconstruction. But there was an accident during its rebuilding, and the cathedral was declared closed to public ever since. Gathering from the situation, it's very likely that this building houses Twilight's headquarters. Twilight's headquarters? I hear another gunshot. Let's hurry. Things are changing as we're standing here. We start running through the deserted streets. And we reach the front of St. Paul's Cathedral, and there's already a great number of Twilight soldiers on the ground. Dang, if Van Helsing and Alistair did this just between the two of them, that's quite a feat. It seems like these men are simply knocked out. That takes some skill. The next gunshot comes from within the building. As if the shot was a signal, Twilight soldiers appear en masse. Hey, those fellows don't look really too friendly. Anyway, you look at it. I suppose I can handle them then. You all go inside. But you're going to save Van Helsing, aren't you? Then don't hesitate and get going so you can reach him yourself. Hi, Franny! St. Germain's tone is kind yet firm. Hi! What you missed is basically we had CC tracked Van Helsing. Also CC my favorite Sherlock novel. Aww. Right. I'll stay behind with you, Count. I'll do what I can to help. I appreciate the offer. Very well. Oh, shoot, what happened? Now go, Lupin, Impy, and look after her and Van Helsing. Lupin and Impy nod with determination. Well then, shall we? Alright, stay safe, you two. We start running, leaving Victor and St. Germain to deal with the situation. It's a little too risky to rush right through the front. Let's go around and follow the gunshots. We follow his suggestion and circle around to a small entrance. We're in the building. There's something dreamlike about this moonlit corridor and it almost feels like we've stepped into a fairy tale. The one you sent me before, Oh, it was in that book! Okay. Another gunshot, this time closer than before. We're almost there! This building is a very simple layout. If we keep moving forward, we'll run into Van Helsing at some point. I nod in response and I'm about to start running faster. There's a part where Sherlock employs a good doggo, Toby, to track down the murderer. Aww. Twilight! Whoa, hey! They're also coming from behind! They're coming from both sides. They are an elite organization after all. Go on, Cardia. Impy and I can get them. But neither of you are fighters. We'll be fine. I mean, as long as you don't expect us to do as well as Van Helsing or Sadie G. We're pretty tough in our own right. But still! It's fine. Don't mind us. Just go. When you get Van Helsing, give him a good smack across the face on our behalf. Lupin gives me a smile. His eyes are filled with confidence, just like when he first kidnapped me. Alright. Squeeze out the words. Be safe, you two. Got it! Love is indestructible! Come on, Lupin, just stay out of the way when I get going, got it? Right back at you, don't mess this up, Impy. Lupin throws a smoke bomb and suddenly blinding everyone. I take the opportunity to flee. Lupin, Impy, I hope nothing happens to them! I pray this is from the bottom of my heart as I keep running on alone. After a little while, I spot the very end of the hallway. Van Helsing is there! I continue running desperately. And arrive in the vaulted ceiling space lit by the soft moonlight. This beautiful scene before me is dreamy. It's powerful enough to memorize any who lay their eyes upon it. If the circumstances were different, I could have stared at its beauty all day and never tire of it. Within this scene, my, we have an unexpected visitor. What are you doing in a place like this, sister? Why are you here? This is completely unexpected. Venice, Alistair, and Van Helsing! I can't stop myself from shouting the moment I lay my eyes on him. You idiot! Where have you been? Cardia. He stares back at me in disbelief, then quickly turns back to Finis. There are bodies of many Twilight soldiers sprawled out around them, but the three do not appear to be fighting. They glare at each other in silence. What's more unsettling is the crowd of Twilight soldiers surrounding them. Even a few soldiers from the army are there pointing their guns at them. This extreme situation is tense scene that barely held together by strange nerves. It looks like a tableau from a painting. I don't know how to pronounce that, I admit. You came after me with the others? Why would you go out of your way to put yourself in danger, Cardia? It's that would shoot. When Helsing's paid echoes shout, it's because I don't know! You're important, you idiot. It's because you're important to me. I remember what Lupin said. The feelings I have for Van Helsing. I've learned so much because I met you. Not just because you taught me how to fight or the other stuff you taught me. I don't know why, but your kindness you showed me, and even though you usually look so annoyed, it makes me happy. You took over my heart little by little, and I didn't realize how important you'd become in my life, you dang idiot. Tableau. Oh, thank you. I didn't know how to pronounce it. Thank you, I do appreciate it. This warm, painful, gripping emotion within me has a name, and it's I love you! More than anyone or anything, I simply love you. Are my words reaching him? After a beat of silence, the response I get is... Unbelievable, sister. What are you even going on about? Love? What's so funny? Why, you ask? From the sheer absurdity of it, of course. It's French. Okay, thank you. Of course, you're incapable of love or being loved by anybody. Good, Cardia. Really now, think about it. Emotions, feelings, a heart, love? What a joke. Cardia's direct. She is. Sister, you're a monster, and a monster can never have any of those things you want. Being once called a monster, and Finis's cold glare sends shivers up my spine. Silence, Finis. Cardia, so she's a monster. So what? It has nothing to do with me. All I'm here to do is to bring you to your death, for my reasons and my reasons alone. These pointless, wistful back and forths are making my skin crawl. Finis drops his shoulders, looking quite obviously dejected. All this talk of love. How angry are you trying to make me? Father would be saddened by all this. You mean to reject Father when you are when all you are is a shallow container? What are you talking about? For an instant, it looks like the light disappeared from his eyes. But before I can wonder about this, Finis raises his face once more to us. Fine, I'm done. I'm so tired of all of you. He snaps his fingers and the soldiers around us lower their guns. What's this? You made them lower your weapons. What are you up to, Finis? Nothing much. It doesn't mean anything. I thought I would let you get the first shot. I'll give you the best chance you'll ever have at killing me. Do it, Van Helsing. Go ahead. I'll show you the true meaning of despair. Finis, shut up. If you were a Disney fan, you would have known that the masterpiece of Beauty and the Beast. I'll show you that your worthless little wish will never be fulfilled. Not now, not ever. Van Helsing's expression becomes stern in the next moment. There's a roaring sound before I can even try and stop him. Finish shot through the leg collapses on the floor. But he stands up what's more, as if he feels no pain. What's the matter? Don't hold back. Aim for my heart, my head. Do whatever you want. Finis walks towards Van Helsing, his arms open, smiling widely as if encouraging him to shoot. If you want my bullets so badly. Finis's body jerks back as bullets riddle him, almost making him appear to be dancing as blood splattered everywhere. But somehow... his insane laughter shows no signs of stopping. Eventually, after Van Helsing's full sight has finally put Finis's laughter to an end. Finis is a masochist! Van Helsing! Finis's body lies limp before him. Surely this time... I did tell you to do whatever you want. What? What? You really are merciless. You should relax a little. I mean, look at me. You turned me into a hamburger. I can do nothing but stand in complete shock and stare. Finis is on the floor, covered in blood, and a figure appears from behind the lines of soldiers. Another Finis. Impossible. How is this happening? What are you? I'm exactly what you see. I'm Finis. Ah, don't worry. That poor fellow there is me as well. Finis looks down at the corpse with a mocking smile and steps over it. Now, I think it's my turn. Van Helsing, Finis snaps his fingers and the soldiers all around us once more point their guns at Van Helsing. Finis is like a cube, eh? I instinctively run out in front of him. Stop, what are you doing? I don't reply to Van Helsing immediately and stare at Finis. I don't know why, but Finis needs me alive. That's why if he's trying to kidnap me without hurting me, isn't that right? I stand protectively in front of Van Helsing, shielding him from the guns. It's alright, Van Helsing. I will protect you. Are ya? Watching us, Finis replies as if he finds something hilariously funny, but at the same time with an air of hate. I can't believe this is just Madoka. You think I can't kill you? Unfortunately, you're wrong. I've been holding back from doing so for a long time. Cardias Homura Vanis Madoka. A long, long time. I really just wanted an excuse to kill you. Even with you gone, I know I can bring Father's plan to fruition. Yes, that's right, you're worthless. I hear an unexpected sound. The sound of a bell rings out. It's coming from Alistair, where he's standing. He's been watching the situation silently. Finis turns his attention to the unlikely distraction, annoyed. What is that noise, Alistair? It's a signal, Finis. A signal. Yes, the preparations to kill you are finally complete. Now, shall we move on to the final chapter? Gunfire goes off all around us. None of it is targeted at us. Instead, the soldiers fire on Finis. Why? Finis is unable to remain standing after taking such heavy fire and he falls to his knees. Why are my own soldiers attacking me? It's simple. These aren't your soldiers, Finis. These men are loyal to me while pretending to be with you. And Helsing looks on in shock at the sudden turn of events. Alistair advances forward towards Finis, who slowly falls onto his side. Jimmy? Alistair stands over Finis and stares down at him coldly. I feel a sense of unspeakable terror from his unwavering eyes. How does it feel, Finis? Isn't this a refreshing turn of events? You're the one who's so used to feeling like everything is under your control. You've always been a charmer. So how does this mean you've done? So does this mean you're done hiding your identity, Alistair? Or should I say Azoth? What? Oh, you knew. I thought I kept it from you pretty well. I suppose I do live up to your reputation of having inherited the infamous Isaac's knowledge. I underestimated you. We all stare at Alistair in surprise. Alistair is Azoth? What? That's insane. Jimmy, what are you talking about? You're Azoth? That's nonsense. And yet, paying no mind as we struggle to come with terms to the truth, Alistair smirks as if nothing is out of the ordinary. It makes complete sense, Abraham. Cardia. I am Azoth. Man, Alistair keeps a thin smile as he turns to Finis, unfazed as we stand frozen. Why don't we take care of you first? I'm a very cautious man, and I don't want to leave any regrets for the future. It's useless, Alistair. I'll never die. I'll corner you, and I swear I'll kill you. Finis spits out with fury and murder in his eyes while laying broken on the floor. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to come true. I know about you and your secrets. You'll meet your end here. Alistair gingerly crouches by Finis' head and whispers something to the boy. How dare you! Finis screams and fresh blood splurts from his wounds. Without hesitation, Alistair drives the saber he holds straight through Finis' neck. At the same moment, the sound of an explosion rattles the entire cathedral. How delightful! Finis, you really were quite entertaining. Almost enough to make me regret killing you. Almost. I knew there was something off about Alistair. I told you something was off about him before I started this. I guess you don't remember. As the shaking continues, Van Helsing grabs hold of Alistair. Explain this to me, Jimmy. What is this about? What is going on? I knew it wasn't Finis because he's not that smart. Don't get so heated. I'll explain. Either way, congratulations, Abraham. As you can see, Finis has achieved true death. Your revenge has been accomplished. He will never come back to life. Your ambitions, my feigned ambitions, have been carried out right here. You're Azoth. Is this true? Yes, of course. Why would I lie about something like that? It can't be. How could I believe something like that? Your techniques in handling Jack Blackman were quite brilliant. What? But they were also unexpected. In the scenario I'd written up, you were supposed to kill him. I thought I'd done a good job of connecting your memories to the battlefield in your past. I guess she really did save you. Alistair glances at me and smiles. But I could never bear to look at your battle with Nuatode. To think that you, who had been called a human weapon, would fight so abysmally. As your teacher, it embarrasses me. You still don't believe me. If you wish, I can explain all the details and methods behind the cases that where the Azoth name was left behind. Van Helsing slowly lets go of Alistair. No, he didn't let go, and looked to me as if he no longer had the strength to hold on. Why? Why did you do such a thing? Why did you plan to... Why did you plan to get... What did you plan to get from the start? I do have a goal, but I don't feel it necessary to explain myself to you. Oh my god, Alistair didn't actually ship it. He acted like he did. You thought I was a shipper, but I proved you wrong. He wanted to break... He wanted to break it. Put simply, this whole series of disturbances is part of a sort of hobby of mine. A hobby? Yes, I have an immense interest in the human species. If you guys don't remember, Alistair is his code name. He is actually Moriarty in disguise. You get that in Lupin's route. Humans are beautiful, but where do you suppose that beauty lies? I believe that beauty dwells in fear and anger. I just want to see it. I want to see that moment when London, Britain, and all the world shine with humanity's beauty. Stop it, Jimmy. Stop these meaningless jokes. You still can't comprehend it. I'm telling you that you've all been tricked by me. Abraham, you were very capable. You and Finis had the ideal relationship of hate and being the one at one's throats. Oh. As a result, it gave me time to figure out how Finis was achieving immortality, and I was able to give him a complete death. Oh! I appreciate it, Abraham. Now that Finis is out of the picture, I can finally achieve my long-standing ambition. Well, I gotta say I approve of Moriarty beating him like this. Your ambition? Wait, wasn't that to get revenge on Finis? Revenge on Finis? Why would I need to do that? You were like me. He took your family hostage, didn't he? And after the war was over, he had your family killed, just like mine. Ah, that was a lie. What are you talking about? It's an undeniable fact that your family was murdered. I saw their bodies with my own eyes. How could that be a lie? Ah, pardon my poor choice of words. They were murdered, yes, but not by Finis. I killed them with my own hands. The Moriarty's supposed to be Sherlock's enemy since the bootleg's bad here, why can't like Sherlock be like this? What? Why would you do such a thing? Fine, let me expose the trick to you. This is the process I need to go through. Abraham, Finis didn't take your family hostage during the Vampire War 2 years ago. It was all done by me. What? And after the war, he wasn't the one who ordered your family's death. That was me too. I left obvious clues behind to follow After I left obvious clues behind to guide your hatred of Finis by making you believe that it had been his doing. I had faith in you. I thought you, with your implacable hatred, would be able to kill him. Basically, you were used by me as my sword and as my pawn. I was the one holding the reins over your dreams of revenge. When did you start thinking this way? Since the moment I met you, Abraham Van Helsing. From the very beginning, the objective of Van's revenge had been standing beside him, manipulating everything about him, his agony, his anger, his grief. I'm not saying that because I can't swear. You know, if I recall correctly, the original Moriarty was a professor too, or maybe a doctor. Gosh, I don't remember. I don't know. I haven't read any Sherlocks, but I've been interested in giving them a read even more so. I'm not saying that word though. You son of a dude. A gunshot rings out as Van Helsing roars. It doesn't come from his gun though, but from a gun belonging to the soldier standing behind Alistair. Blood oozes from a new gunshot wound on Van Helsing's arm. Van Helsing! Oh. His eyes are dull and lifeless. His eyes reflect only murderous intent. Are they? Hidden strength. To tell the truth, I was the one who actually conceived this method. Alistair, when he first saw me, yep, I can destroy his life. Alistair looked at him and went, that's a good boy I can ruin. Powerful soldiers with absolute obedience. most of the earlier experiments failed, so I had to use Twilight to clean up the mess. But yes, I'm very great Moriarty. But now, look at them. I've succeeded in creating efficient killers who will obey any order I give them. I'll kill you. I'll kill you, Jimmy. It's nice to say things, but it's not enough. I need you to hate me with your heart and soul. Alistair laughs as he says this, but it's hard to tell what he's truly thinking. Yes, Moriarty is a professor, 100%. Okay. Abraham, I know you want to vent your anger, but you're not qualified to face me in your current state. I'd like you to be able to handle at least this number of enemies with some grace. Alistair snaps his fingers and the soldiers, both in Twilight and regular army uniforms, inch closer and closer around us. They eye us hungrily like predators observing their prey. I'm gonna excuse myself for today. Meet me at the Tower Bridge. I shall welcome you now that you know everything. Wait! Farewell, Abraham. I'm truly looking forward to seeing you again. Poor Van. Alistair turns his back on us when Helsing raises his shotgun, but the soldiers are close in, protecting Alistair. Alistair! Alistair! Van Helsing screams as he screams sets all the soldiers to attack him at once. The battle is intense. The soldiers with hidden strength attack furiously. Van, I saw you as a pal, Alistair. Okay, suffer. Like, I would like to see you cry, Van. And soldiers fall one after another as Van Helsing strikes them down. Then everything is silent once more. No one moves, aside from Van Helsing and myself. Van Helsing is covered with so much blood, it's hard to tell if it's his or the enemy's. Red, so red. An endless stream of red drips from him. He needs a shower. Alistair watches the light of London from his place in the darkness. Everything is ready. It's all about to come to a close. But is it the end? No, not at all. This is just the start of everything. The word Azoth signifies beginnings and endings, perfectly suited for him. Abraham, I'll wait for you as long as it takes. The show is all for you. It's what is necessary to create the one and only being that is you. He whispers into the night and then falls silent as he continues to stare over the beauty of the city lights. Last chapter! Stand by me! The end to everything is beginning under a dim light of the moon. The group of cavalry ride down the otherwise quiet street and the sound of their hoofbeats echoes through the sinister silence. The group led by Captain Leonhardt, who holds full authority over the investigations of the Azoth case. As if our plate wasn't already full! He's in charge of protecting the government VIPs, guarding the city, and searching for Azoth, catching the violent criminals. He has a mountain of work to tackle day and night, but he must put all that aside to go after one particular place. Newgate Prison. Oh, stand by me! Oh, stand by me! Oh, stand by me! Stand by me! A large prison holding a collection of violent offenders from all across prison. This kind of made me think, imagine if Van declined an offer of like joining Twilight. So you want to be a join? Nah, I'm good. Alistair, you sure? Yep, well, bye, Alistair. He has been told that a number of prisoners escaped recently. Its imposing structure comes into view. Newgate wears a thin layer of fog. The disastrous sight spreads before him. Looks like an intense battle was carried out here just moments ago. The employees are strewn about, their bodies broken. Perhaps they were attacked by escaping criminals. Actually, I love that song. I do too! I like the Florence and Machine remake that they did for 15. I actually really like it. He rushes to their side, but most of the staff appears to already be dead. Are you alright? He hurries over to the man, hearing his faint groans, but the worker is grievously wounded. Please, tell Scotland Yard. The prisoners suddenly became extremely violent. They were chanting Azov. Azov, him again. The worker shudders and exhales his last breath. Leonhardt offers a short prayer for the man's soul. Then, Captain, this is bad. We just received a commune that... What now? Acts of murder and destruction are taking place all across London. This is hardly new information. No, sir. There have been almost 80 reports in the mere span of the last hour. Wait, that's impossible. As soon as Leonhardt can call for a relief party, he heads back to the headquarters of the Azov Task Force. By the time he arrives, the reports of violent crimes have increased significantly to an astounding 200 plus cases. Leonhardt's mind races as he tightly grips his communicator and gives orders to different departments. If these are all indeed being caused by the person known as Azov, Azov must be the devil himself in human clothing. We rejoin Lupin and the others and finally manage to leave St. Paul's Cathedral after giving Van Helsing emergency first aid. And get him a nice shower. That's when we notice something is wrong with London. Mixed with the distant sound of thunder, we hear gunshots from every direction. Beneath the black sky, we see a number of thin trails of smoke rising in the air. What's this? What's going on? It would seem that there's fighting going on in multiple places. But so much at once? It's almost like there's a riot. Lupin notices something right away as we focus on the scene around us. I guess thinking about it, I should have known that this was Moriarty. This is all a Moriarty thing. I think that guy is the cause of this commotion. Lupin is looking ahead at... A man wearing a prison uniform is holding a dagger covered in blood. His eyes are unfocused and he growls like a beast. I've seen this state too many times. Hidden strength. Ridiculous. Van Helsing steps out in front of us, swaying slightly. Van Helsing, you're hurt. You shouldn't be putting yourself in danger. He doesn't reply and stares at the dazed man. Alistair Azov, man. But strangely enough, simply slides down to the ground without anything further. What just happened? That was a high-speed attack on the nerve cluster. Van Helsing simply hit the man once he was passing by. I didn't see it at all. He's always been highly skilled, but that goes beyond human capabilities. What exactly is going on here? All of you return to the mansion. He says this over his shoulder to us and then begins running with great purpose. Van Helsing, wait! Impy stops me when I try and pursue him. Let me go, Impy! There, don't panic. Did you think I'd be rude enough to hold a woman back who's obviously in love? Impy hands me something, a small device that almost looks like a pocket watch with a number of gears all over it. It has a screen and a blinking light moving farther and farther away from its center. What's this? It's a sort of tracking device. I put a transmitter on Van Helsing so you'll be able to find him even when he's gone. I'll let you hold on to that. You're clearly the one who needs it most. Thank you, Impy. We'll work with Scotland Yard and try and get the situation sorted out as quickly as possible. I'll leave Van Helsing to you. Whatever you might be thinking, he's still one of us. Take care of him. I will. Considering how things are looking out here, make sure you take care of yourself too. Alright. Well, Miss Guardia, I will escort you to him. In this state of panic, someone to help keep things from becoming too unruly will likely come in handy. Impy, thank you, been useful. Thank you. Guardia, Lupin calls out to me as I start to run. Oh no, Wesley, do you have too many videos going on again? I move for a moment and Pepper takes my seat. Don't get yourself killed no matter what happens. I promise I won't. Yes, Pepper, I see you. You're very cute. By the time Lupin arrives at the Azoth Task Force headquarters to meet with Leonhardt, London is already in a state of mass chaos. Escaped convicts are murdering people, setting the city on fire, and just rampaging in general across London. The first time he did something right. Scotland Yard and the British Army are acting under Queen Victoria's orders to overcome the situation, but things are far from under control. Azoth is Twilight's commander. Yes, he said so himself. There's no doubt about it. My God! I knew the organization was acting independently, but who could have known that someone like that was within it? We must track his footsteps as well. Where is Jimmy Allister now? Van Helsing and our princess are chasing after him. We'll have to trust them to find him. But even if we did capture Allister now, it wouldn't contain this chaos. That being the case, let's focus on minimizing the damage being done now. It'll turn out fine. It's not just Van Helsing after the man. Our girl's with him too. She's the best lion tamer around. Not even that four-eyed beast can help from warming up to her. What's that supposed to mean? I don't understand you at all. Cardia, you say? Oh dear lord. Sholmes! Leonhardt, you need to be more in touch with your romantic side. Love is one of the most revered human emotions. What? Well then, those lovebirds aside, there is something we need to do. First, I need to tell you something. Did you find any more information? Yes, I did. The motive behind all the Azoth cases so far, which connects everything. Sholmes excitedly produces a map. This is what they're after. He points to a single location on the map, Buckingham Palace. The palace? Is Alistair seriously trying to destroy the nation? The individual crimes going on don't have any logic to them. However, with this much data at our disposal, it's clear that what kind of orders Alistair is giving to Azoth. Leonhardt, justice is much more important to me than love. Oh, the bootleg. Once the resources of Scotland Yard and the military have been spread thin, trying to curtail the chaos in the streets, Alistair intends to bring down the government. More accurately, Buckingham Palace. Your nemesis is better than you, and I don't even like Moriarty. What? Don't yell right into my ear. Calm yourselves, gentlemen. As long as we know what his plans are, all we need to do is be there ahead of him and to stop him. I guarantee that this battle will end in victory for us. However, what? This man, Alistair, who has the mind to pull off a crime of this magnitude. I can't understand why he would think that this is possible given his intelligence. Overturning an entire country is no mean feat. I would have thought that he would know as that much. Could he have some other objective? Perhaps. I have no way of knowing at this point in time. I don't know what Alistair's thinking, but Van Helsing will be sure to stop it. We'll do whatever we can. Then, only a few minutes later, they're on the move. They had to bring the criminals under control and ensure the safety of London, and to crush whatever Azoth has planned. Each time St. Germain's sword flashes, another hidden strength foe falls. His movements are economic and graceful. One swing is all it takes to reduce any opponent's immobility. He's already defeated a number of them that have surrounded us. I apologize for the delay. Surprised at the Count's strength, I'd silently shake my head. I heard stories from Lupin and Impy, but seeing his might in action amazes me. We've been surrounded by almost a dozen enemies and defeated them all in no time, not even a single scratch. Are they? No worry, they're just knocked out, or otherwise incapacitated. I know the color of blood doesn't suit you. Saint Germain smiles silently. Suddenly we hear a noise. A heavy metallic sound. A huge figure appears in the alley shadows. As far as we can see, it appears to be a man wearing a giant suit of armor. I've seen this before. That's right. Right before meeting Saint Germain for the first time, I saw this figure in the hallway of the mansion. I see. What timing? Have you been tracking me? What? Miss Cardia, please leave this to me and go on ahead. This is a thing that makes me... Man, every time Saint Germain is on screen, it makes me sad his route sucks. Yeah, the whole suit of armor, it's a lady in there who's trying to kill you that Saint Germain deals with on his... I like the vibe he gives off overall. But... Are you going to save Van Helsing, aren't you? If that's what your happiness lies, I shall do my best to support you. And... It is a gentleman's duty to support a lady's happiness. Go on now, don't turn back and just run for him. I'm sorry and thank you, Saint Germain. Bye, nerd. His words give me encouragement and I start running. The weather's not looking so good. The sounds of echoing thunder are getting closer and closer. I don't know, it's because of the lightning that stains the sky white from time to time, making me uneasy. My chest feels strangely tight. Please be safe. I whisper this to myself as I continue running after Van Helsing. I hear gunshots and screams all around me. I simply keep running without stopping at all for anything in the extreme chaos taking place all throughout London. I'm running on sheer impulse. Visions of Van Helsing falling into the darkness grow stronger in my mind. I'm certain that if I don't catch him now, my visions will come true. That's why... I'm coming, Van Helsing, you idiot! How far have I run chasing after his footsteps when I finally find him again? With lightning flashing behind him, he stands there as if waiting for me, to stop me from following him, to reject everything I want for him, right here. He's gonna cut me off. The intent in his eyes is clear, even without exchanging a single word from him. After another crack of thunder, Van Helsing opens his mouth to speak. Why did you come after me? I thought I told you to go back to the mansion. This is like the first time we met. The cold words of a hunter fill me with awe. The quiet yet forceful speech is directed straight at me. But I don't want to leave you alone. I'm coming with you. I desperately glare at the man in front of me with the same amount of determination and fierceness he's giving me. It's unnecessary. I will go by myself. I'll take care of Alistair. I love how she constantly calls him out. One step. Then another. Whatever happens to me is no concern of yours. Van Helsing slowly approaches me. Whatever happens to you is no concern of mine. It almost sounds like the build-up to a speech marking the end of whatever we might have had together. That is all a relationship ever was. He's close enough now that I could reach my hand out and touch him. After advancing this far, he declares, I don't need you, Cardia. Thunder booms again, louder than ever, and I open my mouth as more lightning flashes. That doesn't matter to me at all. What? He must have not expected that. I see his face, which has been firm as an iron mask, twitch just a little. Even if you don't need me, I need you. That's why I'm going to come with you, and I'm not going to leave your side. I'm not exaggerating about this at all. I've made my choice. Even if it costs me a life, I'm never going to leave you all by yourself. We share silence between us. Van Helsing makes the first move. He swiftly pulls his gun over his shoulder and points it at me then. You said you'd put your life on the line. He fires without any hesitation. There's a deafening boom and a piece of the wall behind me blasts away. You're saying that you would be satisfied if you died right here, right now. reloads the shotgun and points it at me once again. I need to get out of his way. I need to cut any ties I have with Van Helsing. He won't miss me with the next shot, as if he declared this outright. But I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. If I leave you now, I know I'll regret it forever, and that would be worse than dying. You're more precious to me than anything. I love you more than anyone. I'm not going to leave you alone again. His shotgun roar is almost as loud as the booming thunder. Over and over and over again. This continues for a while. By the time he brings down his arm holding the gun, the murky skies are spitting out fat drops of rain. It's obvious that his breath is uneven. The rain begins to fall so hard that my vision becomes blurred. I step forward. There you go, Choco! Why don't you understand? The pain in his voice echoes in the alley. What do you want? Why do you keep following me? Cardia, stop being heckin' sad, God. I need you to understand this. I'm going to my death. Why would you want to follow me there? He grabs me firmly, not holding back his strength. He's so powerful that for a moment, I think he's about to break my arms. I don't need you. Stop resisting and go back to the others. No, I'm not going back, no matter what, and I'm not gonna leave you. My voice trembles at his threatening demeanor, and I continue to stare him right in the eyes. See why you keep saying that at every CG? Because it's cute. You realize you might die, don't you? I won't die. I'm gonna live through this, and so will you. His grip grows stronger, and I feel my bones creak. Idiot! There's no guarantee! If you said you love me, then listen to me! No, I'm not leaving you. Helsing grinds his teeth and glares at me even more intensely. But he says next, you're important to me! Oh! I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to die. I'm only trying to distance myself from you because you're so important to me. So why do you... Please. Don't involve yourself with me anymore, Cardia. Nope. No, Van Helsing, you're wrong. I look directly into his eyes. You're important, and that's why I want to stay close to you. This is my decision, nobody else's. I'm more afraid of losing you by letting you go off on your own than I am of dying. I love Cardia's stubbornness. I do too. I love how they reward you for being just stubborn and blunt. That's why I came after you, to stay close to you and tell you how I feel. I felt so happy playing this round because it's like I can call him out. Why? Why would you go so far as to... Because I meant what I said. I love you. I truly love you. I was thinking about it for a while, what these feelings I have for you are. I finally understand. If I give them a name, love is the most accurate. I'll say it as many times as I need to, Van Helsing. I love you, and that's why I want to stay with you. No matter how dangerous it is or where you're going, the only place I want to be is at your side. Don't make this more difficult than it already is. I have no right to happiness. Stop being so dang sad. Van Helsing looks more like Larkamos and fragile than I'd ever seen him before. Van Helsing lets me go and quietly turns away, speaking in a completely different tone than his previous shouting. When all this is over, I will disappear once and for all. I owe you a great deal, Cardia. Thank you for loving someone like me. I watch him as he slowly begins to walk away. No! Van Helsing, wait! I take a step forward, ready to chase after him, and he turns around and smiles at me. In the next moment, a light shock runs through my neck and everything goes black. Van Helsing finds an abandoned mansion that its owners have fled from and lays the unconscious Cardia down. The rain has stopped and he heads alone through the dark streets to Tower Bridge, where Alistair awaits. He takes this time to think about a number of things along the way. His past self, who had sworn revenge. His family lying in their own blood. The vampires murdered by his own hands. And Cardia, who said she loved a man like him. He no longer knows how he should feel about each of these memories. It's a confusing feeling, as if he had just learned that the world he'd believed in was only an illusion. He's finally about to face the true target to his revenge. All I have is darkness, I don't deserve happiness. He finally has the chance to avenge his family and betray it, and his betrayed honor after everything he's been through, yet his sorrow is much stronger than his anger. I mean, I totally get why he thinks that, but it's not true. The dark flames that have been savagely burning in his heart are about to go out. That fact scares him more than anything. He runs through the chaos that continues to overtake London. Until he arrives at Tower Bridge. The bridge's usual traffic is nowhere to be seen. The slight fog hangs about now as if the raid has stopped. Although the city is continually in uproar, this place in particular is a strange stillness, like part of a different world. One man stands at the bridge's center. The criminal mastermind Azoth, who has manipulated criminals all throughout the city and bent them to his will. The true target to his revenge, whom he must see dead by his own hands. The cause of all this evil. You're late, Abraham. By my calculations, you were supposed to have arrived about 10 minutes ago. Did you take a detour, perhaps? That's unlike you. Shut up. Alistair sees Van Helsing's expression and narrows his eyes. I should have known that those defective pawns wouldn't have been able to stop you. The man standing in the fog wears a familiar, friendly smile. A smile that Van Helsing had trusted in the past, which only fuels his hatred now. Good work, Abraham. I knew that I saw something special in you. Are you done talking? Van Helsing draws his gun and Alistair smiles again. It's fine to get worked up, but it's not time to die It's not my time to die just yet, Abraham. Van Helsing notices someone standing behind Alistair. A small figure steps out in the moonlight from Alistair's shadow. Van Helsing stares in astonishment. Why are you here? Abraham Van Helsing, my enemy, cannot forgive. Something seems slightly off to Van Helsing, and in seconds that feeling of unease grows as the boy fixates on him with a fiery stare. How could you have done what you did to my father and mother? His eyes are filled with murderous intent, and his voice is a low growl. He closes in an instant, though Van Helsing is able to block the fierce attacks with his gun. Baby! Its impossibly strong impact to the boy's blow lifts Van Helsing off his feet and deadens his arms. I knew it! Of course it would turn out this way. How could you do this to my people? To us vampires? Yep, of course, like a bullet Delacrux 2 is once more on Van Helsing, striking out in rage. He barely is able to dodge the boy's heavy-handed attacks, however. The fierce onslaught slowly drives Van Helsing back. Delacrux 2 is far stronger and faster than before. This unnatural leap in power, the loss in this rational mind, there can only be one explanation. Hidden strength. Alistair, you did this. Of course I did, Abraham. A rare, pure-blooded vampire specimen. I rather forcibly brought out the immense power within him. You know what this boy needs? Slaps more sadness slaps. His mind may have been shattered in exchange for his newfound power, but that's nothing I need to concern myself with. Father! Mother! No! Please don't die! The boy king screams in pain, lost in his personal nightmares. You are vile! What are you talking about? Vampires are the enemies of humanity, Abraham. You went about killing plenty of them. Alistair begins walking. Now, I'm going back to the cathedral once more. You can follow along after you've dealt with this garbage. Do you think you can get away so easily? Oh, I'm not running, Abraham. I've been waiting for you more than anyone else. Waiting for my moment when you were the most complete, my greatest work of art. Your life is mine. I will have revenge for the deaths of my parents. His menacing look steals Van Helsing's breath away, but it's not the intensity of his glare that causes him to hesitate. Those eyes burning with hatred and sorrow. His eyes, his voice, his pain screams, it's all become so familiar. I see. Van Helsing thinks to himself in this moment of silence. The pain of my people's cries out in blood. Die, Van Helsing! This must be what I look like to her. A quiet room. I wake to find myself lying in a strange bed. Where am I? I slowly stand, trying to remember what had happened. I recall Van Helsing doing something and knocking me out. That's right, This wakes me up completely. In a panic, I look at the tracking device that Impy had given me. The screen shows that the signal is coming from Tower Bridge. That's right. He must have headed for the location that Alistair had mentioned back at the cathedral. Sorry, I'm getting hiccups. Huh? Suddenly the screen flickers in the moment, and the dots are replaced with the words "Target lost." What does that mean? Something happened to Van Helsing? When this thought crosses my mind, I'm already running out the door. Are you still alive? Of course. Who do you think I am? I suppose that doesn't sound too convincing, coming from someone who was knocked out in one blow. I didn't think that you'd be able to shoot me even as you were being knocked through the air. You're very strong. Very strong, Van Helsing. No, what saved me was... No, I'm not leaving you! He recalled the words Cardia's voice just as he received a massive punch. It was the only thing that propelled him. Through the immense pain, he had pulled the trigger, thinking I can't die despite himself. You don't need to explain the reason. I know. The young king smiles weakly. His smile somehow has a sense of clarity and sureness now. This is the end. Van Helsing, kill me. I want a release. I'm so tired of this. The more I want to kill you, the more I find I can't completely hate you. The more I want to forgive you, the more I can't. But most of all, I want to be by my mother and father's sides. Please, just end my life. He begs from the bottom of his heart. I thought that I had rid myself of any emotion resembling mercy, but I simply tossed this aside. But I can't simply toss this aside. You don't even have the right to tell me. I don't even have the right to tell you I'm sorry. Then, the least I can do is grant him his wish. A gunshot carries through the night. Maybe I'm too late for everything. I try and push aside my anxieties and unease and focus on moving my legs even faster. Feels like all I can do is chase after Van Helsing like this. Van Helsing! I run and run. I can never catch up to him, but I won't stop. I've made up my mind and grab onto I made up my mind to grab onto his hand before he sinks into the darkness forever. I run and run as fast as I can to Tower Bridge. The usual crowds are nowhere to be seen, and there's awful marks all over. I don't see Van Helsing anywhere, but... Deli? I find Deli lying on the ground. I run over to him in a panic. Deli, you're hurt! A voice. It's you. What are you doing? And you're so terribly wounded. You don't need to concern yourself with me. The one you need to be worried about is him. What? Could you be talking about Van Helsing? He truly is a cruel man. He left without granting me my wish. Deli, you're crying. I'm not. He left to settle his score with Alistair. He truly intends to see his revenge carried out to the end this time. Cardia, go after Van Helsing as quickly as you can. Alistair's true objective isn't to overturn the government or throw London into chaos. All he wants is Abraham Van Helsing. I don't understand. Does Alistair ship him with Van Helsing? Neither do I, completely. I was only half listening to him babble as I was in and out of consciousness. But I clearly remember that feeling indescribable dread as I was listening. I don't understand why. What Deli just told me is so vague with no hard proof, but it gives me an immense bad feeling. Alistair should have circled back to the cathedral by now. Van Helsing should be there as well. Don't mind me. Just go. Your voice is the only thing that can reach him. In his heart, he probably... Yes, I'll stop him. I promised Deli before he can complete that thought. I say it with as much strength as I can muster so the boy can rest easy. Oh, I see this new ship. That was the true ship all along. Right. You probably don't need me, Malathiling. Unfazed by my determination, Deli just gives me a slight smile. He's completely worn out, but his smile is kind all the same. I have one message for him. I'm done with revenge. His and mine. Both of them. I won't allow him to die. Tell him he has to live for the sake of all the lives he took of my brethren. Alistair, you're a heckin' twink. I have no idea what that means. He honestly wouldn't, man, I'm straight. My breath catches in my throat. How much did Deli struggle to finally arrive at this decision? Alright. I'm tired. Let me sleep for a while. Yes, thank you. As soon as I respond, he falls asleep, breathing softly. There's a peacefulness in his sleeping face that had never been there before. Anyway, it's a bit meh that somehow Deli managed to snap out hidden strength when the other struggled a bit, or didn't at all. Thank you, Deli. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, this part I could tell they kind of rushed it a bit. I wipe the tears from my face and look up. I have to go. St. Paul's Cathedral, that's where Van Helsing and Alistair will finally bring an end to all this. Final stretch! Van Helsing walks alone through the cathedral, its interior dim blue. He stops when he hears clapping. Ahead, his teacher, his brother in arms. Deli, he's after Van. Why does all the death on my man? And the man who took everything from him. Just as expected. Congratulations on making this far, Abraham. Jimmy, I've come to kill you. Ah, yes. I've been waiting for you too. But those eyes. Did you not kill the vampire boy? I'm extremely disappointed in you, Abraham. Are you still not ready to overcome to this side? I suppose I'll need to make one final move. You need to stop talking nonsense. There's no way for you to escape. I'll give you a proper send-off, ready of the pile of bodies you built. The resentment in his voice is so strong that he can barely sound human anymore. Alistair, seemingly unmoved, even by the fierce murderous intent of Van Helsing, gives off. To the contrary. Ah, it seems the key I needed has made its way here on its own. What? Alistair directs his attention to something behind Van Helsing. Without letting his guard down, Van Helsing turns around to find... Why? It's her. Cardia is standing there. Why? By the time I rush to them, Van Helsing and Alistair have already confronted each other. I should be so happy I finally caught up with them. Van Helsing! Faced with the confusion of the scene before me, all I could do is weakly call out his name. Van Helsing, Don't say it. I can't turn back. My life has been a series of blood and gunfire leading up to this exact moment. If I don't get my revenge now, all of it will be a waste. You're wrong! What? I shout before I can stop myself. That's not true. It wouldn't be a waste. It's her. What would you know? Deli has a message for you. He said He's done with revenge. His own revenge and yours. He wants you to end it. He won't allow you to die. He says you need to live on for the sake of his people that you killed. That's what he said. So your life won't go to waste. You have an option to live and to take a path other than revenge. I'm sorry, it's just sound funny. Yeah, there's actually, I haven't seen it if it's on this version because I played the PSP version to completion to 100%, but there's a line on, there's a couple, this girl is so persistent. There's a typo on Lupin's where it's supposed to say it was Finis, but it just says it Finis and it became this huge meme for a bit, so that's why I love her so much. How cruel of him. It would have been so much easier if he had just told me to die. That's not... Never mind. There's nothing that can be done. And Helsing, it doesn't matter who else forgives me, I will never forgive myself. So please stop chasing after me. Please stop making this difficult. Just go away, I can't look at you anymore. He completely rejects me. Oh. My chest tightens and tears run down my cheeks unbidden. By one of those words. I didn't expect to see such pointless melodrama unfolding here. Would you like me to make her go away? That's right, this is no time to weep. I wipe my tears and carefully watch Alistair's movements. For someone who's been cornered, you're awfully confident. No, you're wrong. You couldn't be more wrong, Abraham. What? Alistair smiles as if he could care about nothing less than the gun pointed at him. He looks at us with a gentle smile as if simply admonishing an ignorant child. However, Van Helsing? His kind demeanor is terrifying to me for some reason I can't explain. Think about it. Did you think I, of all people, would stand before someone who is obviously stronger than me without a plan? Alistair, we get it, you hate the ship. I've had a few miscalculations, but my plan is about to reach its final stage, and nothing will stop it. Van Helsing looks at him with suspicion, unnerved by Alistair's nonchalance. Did you set some grand trap for us? A trap? No. I think gospel would be a better term for it. Don't move. I'm warning you. I can blow your head off with a single movement of my finger. There's no need to be so scared. Let me tell you a very special story. He pays no attention to Van Helsing's warning and begins to speak very plainly. Abraham, didn't you ever consider that your own strength was a bit unusual? His words are completely unexpected. What are you talking about? You're just trying to buy time. It's no use. Van Helsing's right. Alistair is talking about something that has no bearing to anything that's been happening right now. However, he pays no mind and continues to speak. The strength to overpower a vampire, even though you're merely a human. You're far stronger than an ordinary man. What makes you the human weapon? Have you ever thought about why you're called that? That's enough. Did you ever consider that perhaps you were literally a weapon created by someone else? I said shut up. I don't want to hear anymore. That's what Van Helsing seems to be saying. Here's the question, Abraham. When did you acquire such immense powers? Was it during the military entrance exam? No, though you had some rare talent then. It was still within the realm of humanity. That's an awful premonition I had earlier. Could it be? It's about to come true right before me. Think about it. When did you first have such power? Did you? Alistair, you hinged strength on me. It's the worst we could have imagined. Congratulations. You've guessed correctly. You're exactly right. No! I operated on you gradually, over a prolonged period of time. I used the vampire war to inflict mental trauma required by hidden strength on you. Orchestrating your revenge against Finis was part of the procedure. Alistair also brought up the incidents between Jack the Ripper and Nuatode. You needed to confront your past through countless battles with strong opponents. The Azoth cases were merely sideshows to polish you into a finished piece. How could you? Why? Why did you do it? Why did you go so lengths to give me power? Whoa, that wasn't expected at all. Nope. Yeah, this one was kind of obvious. Nope. Ah, my objective wasn't to bring out the power within you, Abraham. I see you as a work of art. Art? It's the beauty of humanity. The beauty that can be seen for the first time when it's in the midst of fear and chaos. You are the greatest, most powerful work of art that has ever been created, establishing those terrible emotions. It is said that artists would sell their souls to the devil in order to obtain this ability to create such amazing beauty. Work such of amazing beauty. In the same way, Van Helsing, you will finally be completed right here tonight. What? Could he really? Did you really? You took everything away from me. For such a pointless reason. Wait, I see him getting angry, and at the same time his trigger finger tenses. I'm gonna be too late. Van Helsing, I've been subliminating message to you the whole time. Why do you think every photo you found is of yourself? I close my eyes for an anticipation of tragedy about to take place. But the sound I was expecting doesn't occur. I open my eyes to see Van Helsing standing in the same position as before, an expression of agony on his face. But he hasn't pulled the trigger yet. Van Helsing's arm trembles, as if he doesn't know where to aim his gun. I've also seen this coming since Jack the Ripper. Yeah, they give you hints to it, yeah. Seems he can't carry out the threats you're making. Why don't you shoot me? Just pull the trigger, that's all. Damn you. You did something to me. That's right. You can't harm me. Yep, even ever since the airship scene. The years of conditioning I've done to you, brainwashing you. You are preventing you from carrying out certain actions. Oh. Then I will. No, stop it! I don't think he has the chance of beating Alistair. The man taught Van Helsing all he knows. But I can at least try and stop him from saying any more. A heavy blow strikes me from behind. Ah! I fall to the ground before I can even register what's happened. Guardia! Something swings down next to my face as I lie on the ground. I look up closely and see that it's Alistair, the end of Alistair's cane. Ugh. Mostly because I've seen it coming since— oh, that cutscene art. Yep, you're gonna see that real soon, Joko. Oh. There's no need to rush to the end of your life. I'm not the one who's going to kill you. What? I'd like to see you put your life on the line and put on an excellent show for me, Cardia. What do you mean? Alistair, stop! If you lay one finger on her, I swear I'll— Behold, I make things new. I make all new things new. An eerie beating sounds in the silence. At the same time, Van Helsing suddenly cries out in pain, clutching his head. Van Helsing? It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. My head! Alistair, what are you— I don't know what's happening to Van Helsing, but I can tell the strange way that Alistair is quoting the Bible is causing Van Helsing pain. Van Helsing! I will be his god, and he shall be my son. Now, I shall conduct the final movement of our symphony together, Abraham. There was a throat-splitting scream and then complete silence. Van Helsing clenches his head, looking down and moving. He's as still as a rock. Van Helsing? Buddy, you alright? I keep my distance from Alistair and call out to Van Helsing in a feeble voice. Van Helsing? He does react slightly, still breathing, and he appears to be conscious. I sigh and then reach out my hand to touch him. And and black out for a moment. Ah! Does this mean hidden strength is some virus or poison that can be transmitted to... some poison that can be transmitted to people to manipulate? It's kind of like that, but it's also kind of like mental conditioning kind of thing. How some people can have trigger words. It's kind of that similar kind of thing. I tumble to the floor heavily and have an extreme pain forces me back into wakefulness. Ugh. At this point I realize that I've been attacked by something, but why? It sounds like it could be. I'm filled with confusion. The person who attacked me was... Oh no, my boy! Van Helsing, why? He doesn't respond to my question. I look up at his eyes and see that they're disturbingly clouded. He doesn't even see me. He doesn't even see me right in front of him. I can only think of one cause. Alistair, you... I give him a desperate glare, but Alistair continues smiling unmoved. Even worse. Listen to me, Abraham. The girl lying before you is the object of your revenge. He begins to push Van Helsing even further. What? The one who made you kill the vampires, the one who brutally murdered your family, it was all her. There's no way any sane person would believe that I performed these ridiculous accusations, but you've brainwashed him with hidden strength to make him want to kill me? Killing the one you love the most with your own two hands. All the blood and fighting, and the demon born from within the billowing smoke. That is true human beauty. Alistair, how far are you going to push Van Helsing? Don't talk. Van Helsing's foot comes down on me hard without any mercy. My entire body is racked with pain in response to the superhuman power in his stomp. Well then, he seems to be getting the hang of this. One of the options available is to put an end to things. Cardia, I'll give you a choice. I'll order Van Helsing to not resist. If you kill him, then I'll let you live. How about it? You can put an end to my scheme that way too. I think that this would be a wonderful opportunity for you. You're lying. You don't have any intention of letting me live. You're trying to get me to resist and have Van Helsing shoot me. That would make things even more traumatic for him, am I right? I'm not going to follow your orders. Van Helsing and I aren't your tools. Alistair kicks me viciously in the stomach. Ugh. It's quite sad that I have to raise my hand against a woman. Abraham, blow her legs off. That might change her mind. Alistair turns his back on us, leaving the executioner's duty to Van Helsing. Van Helsing silently places his finger on the trigger end of his gun. Wake up, Van Helsing! I don't want to see you like this! Van Helsing! His foot still pressing down on me, it lets up ever so slightly. I use all my remaining strength to escape from out from under him and scramble to my feet, heading for... Oh? Don't move, Alistair. The source of all evil, Alistair stands before me. I take my glove off my hand and slightly press it to his neck. That, of course, would mean... Well. Using your poison as a weapon, I see. Alistair, free Van Helsing from your hidden strength control you've put him under. I'm afraid I can't. Take it off him, Alistair. I press my fingers against his neck even harder. Unfortunately for you, my sense of pain has been deadened. You can't threaten me with pain. I don't intend to make you hurt. If you don't do as I say, I will kill you. Van Helsing isn't doing anything other than watch us, his gun lowered. He's unable to shoot when there's a chance he might hit Alistair. Even if he does try to act, I will melt through this man's neck before he can go through with it. I'm serious. If you don't give in, I'll kill you right here. Alistair remains composed as ever, even worse. That might not be such a bad thing. What? You're insane. Why would you accept your death so easily? Because you're right, Cardia. Long ago, my family was murdered by a ruthless killer. My entire family butchered in front of me. Ah, memories.
over the deaths of my parents, I was moved to tears by the beauty of the utter terror and despair in their death. Since then, I've learned to love the ending of human life. I have killed many, striving to recreate that beauty. The peace in Alistair's voice gives me chills. You're mad. Oh yes, I'm quite insane. Not one person understands me. I've confronted the most psychotic killers, and they all tremble in fear when they caught a glimpse of my inner darkness. I was always alone in this world. I've been so lonely. I've always wanted someone to understand, someone who had fallen so far that they would appreciate the darkness within me. That's what he is to me. Stop. I could wait no longer, so I created a kindred spirit, one with greater darkness and more monstrous than even myself. Stop. Don't look at him like that. Don't you talk about him that way. Van Helsing is not like you. He's... My arm tenses up as I shout in desperation. The flesh in Alistair's neck continues to melt away beneath my fingers, but he pays no mind. I'm not alone anymore, as long as I know that. Death holds no fear in my heart. He looks at his masterpiece, Van Helsing, with kind, adoring eyes. We shall celebrate your birth with my own blood, Van Helsing. What? There's a quiet sound. For a moment, I can't understand what just happened. Alistair. The cathedral's marble floor has been tainted with the red of Alistair's blood. A dagger previously hidden up his sleeve, appearing as if by magic, now lodges on his chest. Now, my masterpiece, my friend in the abyss, step over my blood and go forth on a new path. Alistair lurches to one side. Shocked by the recent turn, my grip on his neck loosens. Bleeding from the neck and chest, he coughs up blood. All he wanted to do was complete Van Helsing and create a truly kindred spirit who would understand him. Abraham, it's time for my final order. Kill this girl, get your revenge. Only then will my loneliness come to an end, and you will understand me completely. Alistair falls to his knees and then raises his hands up towards the heavens. He basks in the light that falls upon him from above, almost as if he's receiving a blessing from God. And that makes me feel... Alistair. Azot, the criminal mastermind who plunged London into chaos, dies quietly on the bloody floor. I can't explain why, but the way he met his death makes me so sad. The man sacrificed so many lives and made Van Helsing suffer. Van Helsing, you... If it wasn't for you... My family, the people who showed me nothing but kindness. I didn't have to. I lost everything. I can't believe his goal was just to create a sad boy. He flails at me with slow, sloppy swings, unlike any of his usual attack techniques. I duck underneath his arm and deliver a sharp blow squarely to his chin, and then slam Van Helsing against the column. But he's unfazed by these injuries and viciously grabs me by the throat. He does this with such force that it lifts me off the ground. His strength draws a person's fears and anxieties out to bring out their potential inner strength. What unbearable nightmares has Van Helsing past is he trapped in? Knowing this, there's only one thing I can do for him now. Become that enemy that he wants to see dead in order to fulfill his need for revenge. I've come to terms with what is about to happen to me, and I ask him quietly. Van Helsing, do you hate me? More than anything. Will you kill me? Your only purpose is to die by my hand. All the pain and suffering I felt, it will make you feel it tenfold. I will carve it into your body as an everlasting mark. His eyes pierced me like arrows. If this had happened back when we first met, I probably would have been too terrified to move or speak. But this is now. If that will help you. I'm not the same person I was back then. I don't fear him. Then shoot me. Because I love him. I want to do everything in my power to help him. If that's going to save you, do what you need. I grab the gun by his other hand. He's already pointing it at me, but I bring it to my heart and hold it there. As Van Helsing jams the gun into my chest, his emotion in his voice only grows. I must kill. I must kill you. This hate. These sins. The subtly distorted eyes. Seeing them, I've come to a realization. It's not my death he needs, not really. You want forgiveness, Van Helsing. I remember Elaine lying on the dark cave. The nightmares from back then in the back of my mind. He's probably reliving every time he took the lives of the vampires. And all those precious lives that he couldn't save, those who died because of him. He's probably reliving them over and over again. You say you have no right to happiness, but that's what you want. You want to be happy again more than anything, don't you? Shut up! He shoves the gun into my chest harder, causing me to scream softly. I don't need happiness. I can never be forgiven for the sake of those whose lives I took. For those who lost their lives. My life will forever be one of blood and pain. That's why I have to kill you. The tears running down his cheeks. How much pain and suffering do they hold? I feel his grip on the gun trembling. You're always suffering for the sake of others. What are you saying? Van Helsing, if it means releasing you from that suffering, turn all your anger and hatred against me right now. Kill me. It's alright. You'll overcome Alistair's curse. I know you're a kind and decent man. And if this is what it takes for you to move on, to keep living, then just kill me. There's no pain. I can breathe too. I'm alive? The man who's supposed to kill me has released his gun and clutches his head. Still in pain, staggers away from me. You know, this made me remember, no wonder why Z likes writing suffering. Most of the games she plays has suffering in it. Van Helsing? At the sound of my voice, he seems to lose all his strength. He slowly tumbles to the ground. Cardia. Could it be? Have the effects of hidden strength worn off? I rush over him to get a good look at his face. Though red-eyed and streaked with tears, I can see his face wears the usual slightly annoyed expression. Van Helsing, I'm right here. I'm right in front of you. Right. You've been here all along. Oh. Yes! Then I was about to make another grave mistake that would have caused my own ruin. Van Helsing's arm moves quickly as he grabs something from the ground. In that moment, I realize what it is. What? Van Helsing? Why? Why would he? Van Helsing! I look over at him once more and take in the growing blood stain spreading across his chest. The object he picked up was a dagger belonging to a Twilight soldier which he'd plunged into his own chest. Why? Why would you do this? I can finally hear your voice clearly. Guardia, you're alive. I was all able to hold back from killing you. I'm alive, Van Helsing, but why did you do this? You should have killed me if it meant he would find peace. I thought the same. With my body overtaken by hidden strength that would have eventually killed you. This is the best option. To protect you. No! Don't close your eyes! Wake up, Van Helsing! Wait right here. I'm gonna call Victor and everybody else over. If Victor can take a look at you, you'll be alright, so... Can we go home together? Can we go to the mansion? Let's tell everyone that you've come home. Tilly was so worried about you too. That's right. We can make you dinner with us for tonight. Let's punish it for making us so worried about you. And what else? All I do is make you sad. If that's how you feel. Make it up to me. Don't make me cry anymore. Van Helsing, stay by my side. What a handful. You were being so bold up until a moment ago. Now here you are, trying to get your way like a child. That's part of who you are. Van Helsing? Van Helsing! I call out to him and shake his shoulder. He doesn't respond. He isn't moving. Then I understand. I can't form any words. The emotion filling my heart overflows, spilling out from my eyes in forms of tears of misery and sorrow. Pay no attention to the tears dripping from my eyes as I wail of lament echoes through the empty halls. You're hurting my ears. What? Oh no, the game is lagging. Oh my gosh, did the PS4 freeze? Oh my gosh, did the PS4 freeze? Hold on. Hi, you okay? Even said one on the screen over there. Hold on. It was too much for the PS4. Oh my god. What? The PS4 is so much smaller game. There's no need for you to shout right in my ear. Are you trying to deafen me? Van Helsing? What? Van Helsing! Nope, this sad boy's too sad for me. I said what? Van Helsing! Ugh. I lunged forward to hug him. His body is very warm. You're alive, Van Helsing! Then don't kill me now. Go easy on me, I'm wounded. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're alive. I'm sorry. I can't believe you did that. I thought you were dead. I was prepared to face death, but you made such a ruckus that I couldn't help but wake up. You always been getting in my way. Would you rather be dead? No. For so long, I've been hurting you and causing you heartache. I couldn't just leave you crying and take off on my own. Besides, I haven't told you the most important thing yet. What's the most important thing? Ah, yes. What is it I was about to tell you earlier? Oh! He hugs me tightly, not paying any heed to his wounds. I will not forget my crimes, but I will not let them drag me down again. There you go, Chogo! I want to be with you. He quietly tells me his one wish. His body temperatures return to normal. I understand even though we aren't touching directly. I feel the strength of Van Helsing's feeling in his body. I finally caught up. He was running from me. It wasn't fair. I know. To make up for everything, let me tell you again and again. Thank you for coming after me. There you go! And all the hatred and regret I've piled in my heart. I love you. We did it! We got the good boy! It finally breaks. See, oh my god, stop. After a long, long night. I've probably got enough time that I can do the, yeah, I probably have time that I can do the, epilogue before I have to go to work for the stupid training thing. We did it! We got the boy! Fun fact, if you don't get enough of the good choices with him, he just dies. he stabs himself and dies. Oh, I love him too, Franny.
So he dies if you don't pick enough good choices. Curry, what? He dies. Yeah, so apparently some people had that happen where they didn't make the right choices. I got all the right ones, so I got the good end where he lives, but apparently some people made like a couple wrong choices, and they're like, why did he just die? What a sad game, and it's like, what are you talking about? He lives. Like, if you make the wrong decision on Victor's, Victor lives but Cardia dies. If you don't headbutt him all the time, he dies. You gotta be rude to this boy to get him. Welcome home! Cece. Hey, stop running around so much. Calm down a little. Despite what I tell him, I can't help but play with him a bit. Cece rubs up against my legs and I gently lift him up. Van Helsing's late. He should have been home by now. It's fine. I can house it alone. Just because we've been living together for a while and being apart a little bit won't make me lonely or anything. I miss him. I hope he comes back soon. And to think you just sent me off with a smile this morning. Okay, Bacardia's resolution. Zizi! Van Helsing, when did you get back? Just now. Come on, we've only been apart a few hours. There's no need for you to be so sad about it. Can't help it, I was really lonely. There's no avoiding it. Work is work. No, it was stiff work as usual. Being social never really was my thing. Was it boring? Of course, any place is boring when you aren't there with me. That's not exactly what I was asking. Oh, why are you dressed like that? I thought you were supposed to attend in your official uniform. Oh, that? It was uncomfortable, so I changed out of it right after I finished. Oh, you look disappointed. That's not true. Okay, maybe it's true. I wanted to see you in your uniform. I appreciate the honesty. It's already been a month. Alistair's death brought an end to the Azelf cases. Because Azelf himself murdered Finnis, the cases involving Twilight came to a close as well. With that, our lives changed a great deal as well. You shush. Victor and Impy are based in London but are going around everywhere else searching for a precious item that they've been chasing after. Lupin is seeking out the truth behind the terrorist attacks while helping keep the other two. Saint Germain, the owner of the mansion, temporarily returned to France, saying he had important business to take care of. That's why the only ones living here at the moment are Van Helsing and myself, Cece. It's my job to look after the mansion until Saint Germain's return. Deli should have been here as well, but... How is Deli doing? Annoying as always, he needs to learn how to act more like a member of royalty as he is. Still, he has his hard work is slowly paying off day by day. I see! I hope he's able to succeed by his goal he has set for himself. Deli's not at the mansion right now. He says that he needs to provide a safe haven for the dispossessed vampires and create a place that they can all live in peace. However, this would be impossible to cut off all contact with humans. So it seems that he's been showing up time to time at political or social events as a representative for vampires. Was Deli surprised that you were attending as a guest? Oh yes, when he saw me his jaw almost dropped through the floor. As for Van Helsing, I didn't expect him to treat me as an actual guest when I'm merely a bodyguard. Reminds me of Z. He's been providing protection for Marquise Renfield, who acts as a mediating diplomat between the vampires and humans. Marquise Renfield is invited to Goodwill Mixer, and Van Helsing as his bodyguard was invited along as well. That's how it happened. Van Helsing, would you take me with you next time? I'll work hard and learn proper etiquette. I want to see Deli again, and I definitely want to see you in your formal uniform. I can't let you do that. Why not? Because I can only imagine the sight of your beauty in a fine gown would attract unwanted attention from lowlives. I think you're blowing this out of proportion. I am not. You need to be more aware of the effect you have on others. You are completely blowing this out of proportion. I'm telling you, I'm not. But I'll get in touch with that bratty little king for you. Don't sulk like that. I have something else in mind instead. He hands me a paper bag. Why don't we get
get dressed up for a two-person party just for ourselves.
What?
Once we climb up here, we'll have arrived. Just hang tight until I've pulled you all the way up. Alright, I will. But Van Helsing, you said we were going to throw a party. I don't think there's anything beyond here, and we're both dressed like this. Trust me, I'm going to lift you up. Whoa! I have been going around various parts of London on work-related matters.
There we go! We get our final CG for them!
Glenn, I feel that this place is the most beautiful. How do you like it? Isn't it the best view you've ever seen?
Okay, I was already in the gutter. Yes, it's beautiful. The stars sparkle in clear, calm night as the sky, countless lights of London spread on the carpet beneath our feet. The soft music rises gently in the air, provided courtesy of the event taking place on the grounds of Buckingham Palace below. There's probably no party more beautiful or luxurious.
Won't they be mad if we enter without permission? If they catch us, we'll just run.
Ruko.
I'm glad I didn't take you to that gala after all. I couldn't bear to let other men behold such beauty. Must repay Victor for his kindness in preparing this dress. You should have told me that you were having a dress made. That would have ruined the surprise. You're still limited on where you can go because of your poison. And until I've released you of this curse, I want you to experience and enjoy as many things as possible.
You know what to expect from me.
Thank you, Van Helsing, but I'm happy just being with you.
There you go, Franny.
I feel much the same way, but I am still a man. I will not stop at nothing until I'm able to give my beloved all the love she deserves.
What do you mean?
You'll find out eventually.
I'm surprised Van managed to find one that doesn't melt, because he got Victor to get it where it doesn't.
So for now, let me love you with all the ways possible that I know how.
There!
Won't you please dance with me, my dear? For this one night on this dreamlight
Dance floor. Oh, thank you for explaining, man. It would be my pleasure.
Not just tonight, no matter how many times we see the sun rise and set. I'll always be together, Van Helsing.
I won't leave him. I won't run. No matter what blame we face or who thinks it's unfair, the two of us will go through life together carrying our past sins with us. Hoping to find happiness while remembering the past will help us atone for the things we've done. And there we go! We finished the route! Now they get to be happy! They get to be happy! I hope you both had fun. I have to get ready to go back to work now. Well, not go back to work. I have to head to work for like 2 hours of basic training stuff. But thank you for watching. I had fun.